side. A man is open. It is caught again. It's Day. McKecker gonna let it rip. It's kicking in the end zone. Looking for the first down and more. He's at midfield. He's got the step along the sideline. Sullivan Sanchez, the reception. He put it on the turf. 19 seconds. Jump ball, far side. Nichols, two-hand grab. Drop back, looks to his left, throws. He's got a man and is caught. Touchdown, Plymouth. And quick winner. One man to beat. Makes him miss. Stiff arms at the goal line and tumbles in. The ball is out. And Londonderry has it at the 25-yard line. Himself left side. Turns the corner. Down the sideline. Breaks the tackle. Inside the 20. Down to the 10. Second down and goal. Double handoff. Maroon is going to scamper into the end zone.
Defensive back number 24.
Well, hello everyone, and welcome here to Londonderry. Nick Anastas, Steve Beals with you. It's our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire game of the week between the Londonderry Lancers and the Salem Blue Devils. It's a rematch of the Division I semifinal game, which was won by Londonderry a year ago as the Lancers ran the table to capture the championship. Both teams are off to a good start here in 2020, fresh off of Week 1 victories. And Steve, both of these teams, both of these personnel really are familiar with one another and ready to let it rip here in week number 2.
Yeah, this has been a tough division team. Tough division, Nick, for a long, long time. And you've got, Salem in it, and you've got the Lancers, and then you've got Pinkerton Academy. And they get the kind of level of competition they need before whoever makes the playoffs, they're ready to go for sure. Obviously, Salem Blue Devils now, Rob Pike has moved on, and Steve Abraham has come in. I think that's a really good thing for Salem because he was an assistant coach, knows the program. It's not someone coming in from the outside. Lance is coming back strong with Jimmy Lozon and company. And let me tell you, that game we did last week on Friday Night Lights against Pinkerton was quite a masterful performance by the Lancers to defeat Pinkerton. They seem to be in mid-season form. My understanding from what I hear from the Salem game last week, they look very solid as well. They're going to be that Oakland Raiders of southern New Hampshire, Nick. Salem, they always come hard. Talk to any player that's played against Salem, you better bring your A game because they're coming at you physically, and they're fearless, and they have that wing T attack. Very interested to see how sophisticated and how far along that running game is for Salem. Looking for a good game today.
You mentioned the win by Londonderry last week over Pinkerton. We had that broadcast. Dylan McKeckern, the new quarterback, brother, of course, of Jake, last year's starter. Dylan went off on the ground over 200 yards, pretty good through the air as well, 10 of 15, 114 yards, a touchdown pass, a real dual threat for Coach Lozon.
Yeah, I think he's actually a triple threat because of his decisions he makes, Nick. Not only is he a great runner, as you aptly said, he is a guy that is so elusive when he runs. We were talking about that during the game. We were just amazed to watch his lateral movement, be able to stop and start, be very elusive, fake people without, his hips fake, which is the center core part of his body. Very difficult to tackle and bring down. If anything else, the really thing that amazed me on his running attack was how well prepared he was in the game to not allow anybody to take his body on square. He was very Brady-like in the way that he kind of bends and falls down forward, gets a tremendous amount of yardage, knows when the yardage is over, and makes sure he doesn't get injured. And that's going to be key for this team this year. On the other thing that we saw is the passing game. As the game went on, he was sailing some balls in the beginning of the game. By the second half, some of those things, he brought it back down. He was nailing the hammer well, and he was hitting guys. There was a one down here. I thought the defender was going to intercept it, but the velocity on the ball went right into the receiver's hand. He's a good-looking quarterback. I'm very interested, Nick, because you and I saw, Cody Clement. Last year, he got injured in the game against Londonderry that we did down in Massachusetts while they were getting their field done. And he got injured pretty badly, and he was out for, I think, 6 weeks. He's a good quarterback. If he can stay healthy, Salem's got a good shot to go deep.
Yeah, they've got two quarterbacks.
They
really.
do.
The Blue Devils have a junior as well, Caleb Bates, who looked good last week, but
as you mentioned, the running game really the identity under Coach Abraham. 9 different running backs were used last week in a 46-12 win over Alvern. 9 different running backs, 289 rushing yards on 47 team attempts.
Yeah, that's what the wing T is supposed to do, Nick. It's supposed to have that kind of numbers when you're successful, and they did it. And to do it in the running game, we were talking, you can do 7-on-7 with social distancing very well, Nick, and get your routes down. Very difficult to get a running game sophisticated this early. We saw that with Pinkerton last week. For Salem to do that well in the running game that early is a testament to the coaching staff and the players' focus and being dialed in to get those reps in. It's so hard to not have a running game without really slam-bamming it. They're going to do it, and I'm looking forward to see to see what I heard about last week.
Meanwhile, a gorgeous day weather-wise.
Oh, boy.
65 degrees. The sun is out. It's partially cloudy, a little bit of a breeze. But again, about as perfect of an October afternoon as you could ask for. Limited crowd capacity here today. It's limited to, I believe, just friends and family. No student body in a second straight week here at Londonderry. But they do have the dance team on hand for the first time this season, and, of course, the world-renowned Londonderry High School Band, one of the best in the country, set to perform again today.
Well, when you see them come out, Nick, with the numbers and the militaristic approach that they have when they come in, they're just so well-trained and excellent musicians, and when they come out, it feels like a college band. It's always fun and interesting to see what numbers they're going to play at halftime. We'll have that for you. Our production manager, Ben, and our camera person, Kristen, will have that for you at halftime. So for those folks who love the halftime show, stay tuned.
Yep. It's also, early in terms of the day, which means we've got a whole lot of football to pack into the schedule. A doubleheader today after our game here at Londonderry. Steve and I and the crew will head over to Amherst to bring you Bishop Girton at Salhegan. That's D1 versus D2. That game tonight at 6 o'clock. Again, we'll be broadcasting live here on Friday Night Lights, New Hampshire, part of our FNL NH Media doubleheader.
Can't wait for that, Nick. Exciting to get these cross-division matchups due to the pandemic and a lot of the restructuring of the schedules. Those sort of opportunities come up, and I know both of those teams are looking forward to playing each other. There's a lot of connection between those towns and in lacrosse, and a lot of those guys know each other, as well as just a lot of Salhegan or Amherst kids have gone to BG, so there's a lot of mutual friendships there. This is going to be a real interesting game. Your good friend Mike Bellevue will be the offensive coordinator. Is that right?
Yep.
And he'll be at the helm with Amherst.
Former head coach of Salhegan, now on the staff under Coach Bocat. All right, the captains just met at midfield. Londonderry won the toss, decided to defer to the second half, which means Salem will receive the opening kickoff. We will step aside. The color guard is on the field. The national anthem is on tap.
Encouraged to wear white to show their support for those who have served and are currently serving in the armed forces. This year, the Gridiron Club will be collecting donations virtually for the American Legion Post 27 in Londonderry. Please visit the Lancer Gridiron Club page on Facebook or visit LondonderryLancerFootball.com to make a donation today. The fundraiser will run throughout the 2020 season. Please consider donating, as no amount is too small, and every dollar helps support those who have fought to protect our country. At this time, we would ask all those in attendance that have served our country to please rise and be recognized. We thank you very much for your service. And now I would ask that everyone please rise in honor of America for the playing of today's national anthem by the world-renowned Londonderry Lancer High School Marching Band under the direction of Mr. Serge Bolio.
Well, there you have it. The national anthem in the books. Those former and current military personnel in the audience given a nice moment of recognition. Londonderry wearing the road whites today in tribute to the United States Armed Forces. So a little bit of a different look for Londonderry, at least on their home field today. Again, going with the road whites. Salem, they will receive, as we mentioned, a very deadly ground game. They ran for almost 300 yards against Alvern. Certainly that front seven, so to speak, will be tested today on the Londonderry defensive side.
Yeah, that's a lot of yardage, Nick, on the ground with 12-minute quarters with a clock that's going to be running most of the time. That's a pretty potent attack.
All right, Zach Fawcett, 2-year starter. Set to kick things off, having a chat with his fellow special teamers as the Londonderry band off to our right behind the end zone pounds the drum in anticipation of the opening kick. Salem will send 2 men back deep. They did return 2 kickoffs for touchdowns last week, Steve. Both Aiden McDonald and Dante Fernandez hit pay dirt. And this one is up in the air. We are underway here from Londonderry. From the 15, across the 20 goes the return man, and he's got some room all the way out to the 40 before he's tackled at about the 42-yard line. That's Ryan Allard, one of these talented seniors. So good starting field position for Salem as they come out 1st and 10.
Well, we saw Ryan Allard, Nick, last year, and he was solid then. One thing you like to do in a receiver is those first 3 steps he takes gives him an opportunity to choose a lane. And he seems to have, if you watch him run, he knew exactly which lane to go and did a nice cut outside.
So 1st and 10. Again, split backfields with the wing back, the wing T, which has been alive for several decades at Salem, including this year under first-year head coach Steve Abraham.
Flag down.
It's a pitch. And yes, a penalty here on the first offensive play of the game. Tackle made across the 45
like
to
motion.
46.
I think it was illegal motion. Nope. Ball start.
Ball start either way. It's against Salem.
Kind of the same thing in a way, right, Nick?
Against the Blue Devils.
5 yards either way. It'll back the Blue Devils up or back to their own 39-yard line here.
Yeah, withstanding the penalty, that was a pretty good-looking play. They had some blockers out front. Looks like somebody just didn't started moving a little bit early, but well-designed play and was able to get that seal inside block on the defensive end of Londonderry.
It is the junior quarterback, Caleb Bates, under center. We may see Clements take a few snaps today as well. Londonderry going to show blitz up the middle, and it's a double handoff. A reverse coming near side, but not a lot of room that time.
23,
Ramshaw.
It's Dante Fernandez.
Tripped up on the play by number 18, Colby Ramshaw.
Ramshaw, a two-way starter for Londonderry. Looked like got a piece of the ankle there, a shoestring tackle.
Did a nice job of not over-pursuing, Nick. He stayed home, and that's what happens on those reverses when you're a disciplined defensive player. Ramshaw was very disciplined, was able to close in from the outside and get the ankle.
3-yard gain on the play. 2nd down and 12, coming 1 minute gone by in the opening quarter. 3 down linemen. Londonderry showing blitzes off the edge. Salem's going to go to the air. Deep down the far sideline. This one is too strong and incomplete. Bates trying to find Peter Bealey, one of the juniors, on the outside. Pretty good coverage there by Riley Bowles, who dropped back for Londonderry.
Yeah, Riley actually had a hand on his chest. I was wondering if they were going to throw up a flag or not, but it was very, very minor, so they let it go. But
Lucas Seaman.
Receiver there, what was his name? Bealey. He's going to have to establish some position better than that, Nick. He let him kind of control him.
Salem may have to go back to the air here on 3rd down and 12 from their own 41 against pressure. They do stick to the ground. A stretch run to the far side goes McDonald.
On the run is number 15.
Not a whole lot. He's tackled inbounds by Lucas Seaman. His second tackle already. Lucas, the opening tackle on the special team. So a penalty for Salem, incomplete pass, and now a 3 and out on 4th and 9. It's punt time with 2 minutes gone.
Yeah, Lucas did a great job of doing a quick drop back, a little 3-step drop, read the play, and reacts very, very well, maintains outside position to turn the run inside, and nice form tackle.
Eric Raza is the man back deep for Londonderry, standing at his own 20-yard line. The punter is Noah Fastafa. This one off his left foot. On the run to his right is Raza. Makes the grab inside the 20. Tries to find the sideline, but is guided out of bounds. Good coverage by Salem.
Brought out of bounds
Officially
by
the
number 10
tackle
on the
there
play.
by Mateo Mustafa. So
Mateo
here comes the
Mustafa.
Londonderry offense, led by, of course, Dylan McEachern. Over 200 yards on the ground last week.
They'll start off on their own.
One of which came on a
20-yard line.
65-yard touchdown run, which put Londonderry on the board early.
Had a pretty good leak there in the Londonderry line. I thought he was going to block the kick, but he stepped to the left and got that kick off and sailed that baby.
Yeah, I misspoke. The punter for Salem was Michael Booten, one of the seniors who booted that one.
Yeah, impressive.
Meanwhile, another whistle as Londonderry breaks the huddle. Just over 2 minutes gone by in this first quarter.
Yeah, some debris out in the field.
Referee timeout.
And officials stoppage. We're ready to go. McEachern in the pistol with the tailback Hayden Austin behind him. It's a pitch. This is Eric Raza, the wingback, and he's got a step to midfield. Stays inbounds and cuts it back inside the Salem 45-yard line. Raza showing that speed. Big gainer there for Londonderry.
Raza showing the speed, but McEachern showing the discipline to hold on to that ball, Nick, to the very last minute and put a breadbasket pitch right in his hand on the run. He was able to beat the outside defensive back, Nick, and that was all set up by McEachern. Well done.
Tackle made by Bealey, who's double duty today, wide receiver and corner for Salem. 1st and 10 for Londonderry. Raza in motion. The give is up the middle, and this is a big burster for Hayden Austin. Scored a short touchdown in the win over Pinkerton last week.
Brought down on the play
It's
by
a big
number
gainer
2, Jack
here, nearly a
Milos.
25-yard run.
Yeah, if you look at the rerun on this, Dick, you'll see that Salem moved the tackles outside. Lozon saw it and went for it.
Coach
Ball's on
Lozon
the Salem
employing
26.
the up-tempo offense here. No huddle. Back to Austin up the middle. This time not a whole lot.
Number 12,
Met
Hayden
in the
Austin.
hole by the Salem
Brought down the
linebacker
play by
Noah
number 52, Noah Poulin.
No gain on the play.
Yeah, execution
Gain of
right
4,
now by Londonderry
down
defense.
6.
An offensive line is very good. They're getting the body on the, looks like a little bit shorter Salem. They're rugged fellas. We'll see how this moves out, how the trenches work.
Wide receiver each side. Raza to the near side of the screen. Again, McEachern puts a man in motion. This time it's O'Loughlin trying to make a jump cut. Nothing there. Tackled around the ankles.
On the run was number 4,
Around the
Will
waist,
Reyes.
I should say,
Yep.
by Tanner Morgano.
Yeah, clearly defense was flying. Salem's speed
7,
on their defense is very similar to Londonderry's. It's very, very quick. Their athletes that are at the linebacker and cornerback position, Nick, look very, very solid, and they're making good lanes. So
Key play here, 3rd down and 7. Londonderry approaching the red zone, trying to keep the drive alive. 3 receivers set. Salem comes with heat. Back to throw. Now McEachern going to tuck and dive forward, not much, across the 25, down inside. It looks like the 24-yard line.
yeah, that's a coverage.
Still a good,
On the keeper was
Sorry, Nick.
number 14,
about
Dylan
6 yards
McEachern.
shy. May have gotten a yard. It'll be 4th down and officially 6.
I'm sorry, we got that
No
speaker
gain on
that's
the
right
play,
in back
brings
of
up
us, and I
4th
can't.
down and
Yeah,
7.
I don't know where you stop.
It's louder
We'll
than,
work on it.
than it looks up here. 4th down. Londonderry got to roll the dice. Hard count here. Movement along the defensive line.
Thrown.
And this could be against Salem.
Yeah, that's a
If
tough
so, it's
penalty.
going to make it 4th and short.
That's a tough penalty for the Blue Devils.
Yep, encroachment is going to cost them 5 yards.
So penalties affecting the Blue Devils early here, Nick, on offense and now one on defense.
4th down
Let's hope
and
for
2
Salem's
for
sake
Uh,
they can hold here. But that gives Coach Lozon an offensive play calling group many more options.
Yeah. Well, it was officially 4th and 7. After the 5-yard penalty, it's now 4th down and 2. McEachern, dual wingbacks here. Receiver out to the near side right with Austin behind him in the pistol. Again, Salem showing blitz up the middle. Snap taken, McEachern pitches near side. Raza plants the foot, cuts inside the 20, and is tackled beyond the first down, stick at about the 15. So a gamble that pays off for Coach Lozon as Londonderry keeps the drive alive.
So difficult to stop that, Nick. This tempo is really fast.
Down.
Nearly 5 minutes gone already. Here in the opening
Ball's on the
quarter,
Salem
opening drive
15.
for Londonderry, their first trip inside the red zone, trying to strike first. Quick snap, McEachern, the give, right side. It's Austin trying to navigate, spins, keeps pumping the legs at the 10.
On the run is number 12.
Before he's finally
Hayden
brought
Austin,
down
tackled on the play by
at
number
about the
4,
10-yard
Jacob
line.
Brady.
Leading there Leading Salem there for the stop, Jacob Brady, the middle linebacker.
On the play,
Yeah, two things going on the offensive line. They're getting the cadence. They're keeping Salem unable to be able to guess the snap. And excellent offensive line blocking, Nick.
Again, no huddle. Again, McEachern in the pistol on 2nd down and 5 from the 10. Snap taken, fakes the handoff to Raza, runs to his right, goes inside the 10, and is hit at about the 8-yard line.
McEachern.
Again, Brady
Stop by number 4, Jacob
showing
Brady.
some good instincts there on the tackle.
Yes, he
his
did.
second. All right, 3rd down and 5.
Gain of 2 on the play. 3rd down and
Londonderry
3
right back
from the
up
8.
to the line as we hit the midway point here, first quarter. The give. Left side for Austin. That ball is on the ground.
Yeah, they're fighting
Stripped on
for
the
it.
handoff. Salem
I don't think they got it.
did not get it. Londonderry
Fumble on the play. It's
Fortunately,
recovered by the Lancers.
able to recover that one. One of their offensive linemen, Dan Gear, recovers for his team. So no gain after the fumble. 4th down
Loss
and
of 2 on the
5. We're
play.
inside of 6
4th
minutes
down
here,
and
first
5.
quarter. And Dillon again ready to take the snap as McEachern now is going to slow things down as Coach Lozon flashes some signs. We've got an audible here on 4th down and 5. Snap taken, McEachern to sprint out to his left, trying to find the corner. Can he get there? He's close. He's still on his feet, and he leans across the goal line for the touchdown. Dylan McEachern on a stretch play. Second,
scored
4th
on
down
the play by
conversion
number
of the
14,
drive.
Dylan
Londonderry strikes
McEachern.
first with an 8-yard touchdown run from Dylan McEachern.
That was so obvious what Coach Lozon did. He saw that the left side was stacked with Blue Devils. He changed the play mid-up. He overpowered it on that end, and it was just a matter of just running in the end zone. Didn't think he was going to get a touchdown, but he forced it through.
Fawcett is on for the extra point try. It's a good snap, a good hold,
The extra
and a
point
good kick.
attempt by Fawcett.
Very impressive
Londonderry
drive.
7,
So the score is now
Salem nothing as the Lancers march nearly 79 yards. That included a pair of 4th down conversions, including on the 8-yard touchdown scamper.
Yeah, this is you can't take this stuff for granted, Nick, because it takes work. Every single drive you start anew, and he's just got the ability. He's got a great relationship with his players. There's a lot of back and forth that are going back and looking at that defense of Salem and just picking it apart down the field. I actually think Salem did a good job on defense. Little missed tackle there on McEachern, but overall, other than that penalty, that was some pretty good defense that Salem threw at him. It's just Coach Lozon knows how to pick them apart and knows how to get the advantage on the field on the offensive side of the ball, and he did it there. Salem's got to come back, though, Nick. They got to put together a drive to stay in this high-potent offense here. They got to stay penalty-free as well, because these 2 penalties, Nick, have really hurt them on both drives.
Squib kick from Fawcett. Takes a bounce. Mustafa off the second hop. Fields it at the 25 across the 30 before he's brought down by Hayden Austin at about the 35-yard line. So again, pretty good field position to begin drive number 2 for Salem.
Yeah, I was just going to say that. Pretty good field position, but they got to put it together, Nick. You know, even 3's good enough if they got a decent kicker, but you got to move the ball down the field, got to move the sticks, got to get some first down and keep that defense of Londonderry on the field, if nothing else.
Yeah, they went 3 and out. Took a penalty in the process during their first drive moments ago. All right, another quarterback, Steve. We talked about the dual look.
Yep.
This is Noah Mustafa with a pitch out to McDonald. His second carry. He's tackled around the shoulder blades on the far sideline. A flag comes in late.
McDonald brought down by
Boy, that was a back judge, Nick. I don't know what he saw, but
Well, Nar credited with the tackle. Came upstairs. It was right around the shoulder blades, shoulder pads.
yeah, if you watch the plays of the wing T holding, oh boy, another penalty on Salem. That's going to hurt. If you look at the concept of the wing T is to flood the zone with blockers, but Londonderry is running. They're so fast to where the ball is, Nick. It's just incredible, and they close it up. It looks like they have an opening going around the corner. Then split second later, you got 4 Lancers all approaching the ball 100 miles an hour. They do a great job.
It'll be first down and
Well, the mistake's starting to mount already. 3rd penalty for Salem.
Yeah.
20 penalty yards. Second mistake, so to speak.
correction,
by this offense.
That's uphill.
First down and
Officially an 8-yard penalty, so it's first and 18. Back to the ground. McDonald again can't get outside.
Yeah.
Londonderry flooding white jerseys to the edge there with a gang tackle.
Well, that's a counter, Nick, and I don't know, you don't run counters after you haven't established a run to the play side. You run counters off of over pursuit to that side. That hasn't happened yet. What has happened is the defensive ends and corners and outside linebackers have been able to contain extremely well and to be able to attack the flooded blocking zone that blockers that Salem's putting at them. They're just doing a terrific job with discipline and execution.
Coming up on 4 minutes to go in this first quarter, a 2nd down and 18 for Salem. They trail at 7-0. Play action pass. Mustafa in some trouble, trying to dance out of a number of tackles, and is finally brought down back around the 29-yard line. Made the most of it there, but still a 3rd and long now on the way for Salem.
Yeah, Mustafa's a tough kid. You can see him on the run back. He's not afraid to lower his shoulder, not afraid of the quarterback position as well. But what Salem has, they seem to have a pretty good kicker, Nick. What Salem's got to do is make sure that they don't, throw an interception by trying to force it. Don't force it. If it's there, take it. If it's not, kick it away.
Yeah, officially a long 3rd and 16 on the way. Dan Gear credited with that.
Yes.
With that last stop. So, Mustafa, who saw action last year as a sophomore, was kind of thrown into the fire after a week 2 injury. Facing a blitz up the middle here, and hang on, we're going to blow this one dead.
That's encroachment.
This could be the first penalty against Londonderry.
Yeah, good job with the cadence, the snap count, Nick, by Salem. That 5 yards is important. That changes the type of play. Now they can do a screen pass. There's a lot of different things they can do now with that extra 5 yards that are in the playbook. That's going to make it a little more high percentage chances for Salem, as well as kind of complicate a little more for Londonderry. This is a big play here for Salem, Nick.
3rd down and 11.
Yep.
A little better chances-wise than a 3rd and 16.
And like before, it's as important not to force as it is to take it if it's there.
All right, 3rd and 11.
Timeout.
Timeout.
First timeout.
Salem. That is their
Either
first
way, it's charged to the Blue Devils.
Yeah, Coach Abraham, I think, knows the gravity of this situation, and he wants to make sure the execution is there. One of the things they're going to have to do is make sure that their cadence call, Londonderry's getting a good run at the offensive line. They're actually beating them to the on the push of war game right now, which usually that should not happen if the cadence is called well. I have a funny feeling that's probably what they're talking about in the huddle, as well as what Londonderry is doing. They seem to be very strong on the right side, Nick. Don't be surprised if you see something on the left side here, a screen pass or something like that.
Right back here at Lancer Park,
reminder, doubleheader today. We will be at BG at Salem, BG at Souhegan.
Yep.
Following this game between Londonderry and Salem. Kickoff is at 6 o'clock. And, just a good day for football. Week 2 across the Granite State. Both of these teams widely considered as legit contenders,
no doubt.
In Division I. Of course, Londonderry is the reigning champ. And Salem good enough to make the Final Four a year ago, bringing a lot of that team back again this season. So, after a lengthy break, Londonderry, some confusion personnel-wise defensively, a late arriver. The officials say okay. They blow the whistle, and now Mustafa, the Salem quarterback, going to flash some hand signals here.
Big play.
3rd down and 11. Mustafa still trying to get everybody in place. Going to face a 4-man rush here, it looks like. Now Londonderry threatening a blitz on the far edge. Mustafa going to roll to his left away from the heat, throws it high. It is tipped and incomplete.
Yep.
Nearly a second interception on the season there for the safety Aiden O'Loughlin, but he could not reel it in. Good diving effort. Either way, Londonderry gets the stop they want, and Salem's going to have to punt.
Huge execution mistake by Mustafa there. He had him on the run. He wasn't anywhere near the line of scrimmage, Nick, and he just threw it high and behind him, and he was in first down territory. For Salem, that's a tough break there.
4th down and 11. Londonderry about to get the ball back, leading 7-0. Raza is back at his own 30. Yeah. This one is partially deflected, it looked like. Picked up off the bounce by Londonderry. On the move, this is Riley Bowles, tackled inside the Salem 20-yard line at about the 16-yard line. So the Lancer special teams making an impact as they take over in the red zone following a block punt.
Well, that was a big play last time, Nick, and we had said if it's there, take it. They had it. They didn't execute, and with a team like Londonderry, That's what's going to happen. It's that we were talking about leaking on the offensive punt unit for Salem before, Nick, and the exact same holes were open. They're going to have to shut those up. Otherwise, it's going to happen again.
So McEachern and the offense, they take over at the 16-yard line officially, with Hayden Austin, the tailback here, in the pistol. First down and 10. They go up the middle. And Austin's got a little bit of room there, a good 4 yards up to about the 11-yard line. Just a straight dive call there from the sideline from Londonderry that time.
6 on the play, second down and 4.
They give him 6. They say second and 4. And here comes this up-tempo offense. Again, no huddle. Now Coach Lozon says slow it down from the sideline. Very hands-on, of course, communication-wise with McEachern, the quarterback. McEachern takes the snap, fakes the handoff, rolls to the right, and is spun down inside the 10 at about the 7-yard line. That is very close to the first down marker.
Well, you need a quarter, Nick, to figure out what's going on in the trenches, and both sides of the ball right now, the trench war is emphatically being won on both sides right now by Londonderry, Nick.
How about that Londonderry O-line? They've got the wide splits there, Steve. There's
ball is spotted
good
on the
3
Salem
feet,
5.
it looks like.
And you know why they do that, Nick?
Center and guards and tackle.
You know why they do that? Because they're that good and they can.
Yeah.
That's why.
And McEachern on first and goal. Back to Austin Hayden.
Oh, that's a great tackle.
And nowhere to go there as 52. He was swallowed up pretty quickly. Another tackle on the defensive side for Salem's Noah Poulin.
Oh, that was impressive, Nick. He busted through 2 blockers to make that play. This kid came to play today. They're going to have to spread that out across the defensive part of the squad, Nick, in order to try to stay in this game.
Second down and goal from the 5-yard line. Final 100 seconds, first quarter. Londonderry looking to capitalize on a special teams victory a moment ago. They go back up the middle. Austin again can't find the room.
On the run
Hole collapse quickly.
Hayden Austin.
As both Poulin and Tanner Morgano combine on the stop for Salem.
Third
and goal from the 5. No huddle. Pistol look. McEachern takes the snap. This time it's a handoff to the far side. Raza trying to spin out of trouble at the line of scrimmage. And essentially goes nowhere in the end after the east-west run did not fool Salem there.
But better play by Salem defense, Nick. They're starting to they're changing their gaps that the tackles are driving, Nick, and it's having an effect. Let's see if Coach Lozon, as usual, starts changing up his attacking points on the running game.
Well, Londonderry 2 for 2 on that first scoring drive on 4th down. Trying to do it again here. 4th down and goal from the 3. Final 40 seconds, first quarter. And now I think Coach Lozon just called for time. He did. A timeout, Londonderry.
Timeout.
First charge against the Lancers. It stops the clock with 37 seconds to go in this first quarter.
Yeah, this is a big point right here. So, again, so far we've had 2 really big plays, Nick. One on Londonderry and one on Salem, and this is one for them if they can execute this and get 2 touchdowns ahead at home. We all know the percentages of that when that happens. You're almost forced as Salem to come out and need to break a big play or at least put together a solid drive. One of the things that has been a little bit of a change here is by changing quarterbacks, you're changing the snap count, the voice, and everything. And I don't know. Clement looked pretty solid. I don't know if he's injured and can only have minimal on a play, or Coach Abraham's trying to figure out who he wants for a starting guy. But Clement seemed to be in the first round doing a pretty good job. It's going to be interesting to see.
He threw a touchdown pass, I believe, last week.
Yes, he did.
In that win against Alvern. But so far it's been Mustafa, and it's been...
Well, Clement came out for the first round.
Well, it was Kalen Bates.
Bates, I'm sorry. Yeah, Bates came out for the first round. I thought he looked good. So
yeah, Bates for the first series. We see Mustafa since, and you spoke about last year's starter, Coder Clements. He did get action in week 1 under center. He just made the last tackle before the timeout defensively for Salem as well. Yep. He's their starting free safety. All right, here we go. 4th down and goal from the 3. McEachern takes the snap, fakes the handoff, goes left, and goes down.
Came to play.
Short of the goal line. A big stop
14,
for Salem. They keep it a 1-score game, and they deny Londonderry access to the end zone and take over inside their own 5-yard line.
Lozon's as a head coach, offensive guy that takes whatever you give him. And in that situation, you got to give credit to the defensive, whatever they saw upstairs. They changed the gaps they were penetrating, and it's affecting the ability of the offensive line to control them to the degree they were before. before, Nick, and that's why those linebackers are getting some good looks at being able to make some stops.
Yeah, I mean, there were
Great
three,
job
maybe
by
four
Salem.
blue jerseys there on the edge. Just
Absolutely.
nowhere for McEachern to go. Got to be careful here, though, Steve. The ball is at their own 3-yard line.
They'll take it.
32 seconds to go in the quarter. And now we do get another look here at Caleb Bates, who is back under center as the Salem quarterback.
Thought he looked pretty good the first round there. It was just the penalty really kind of killed the drive.
Hard count. Snap taken. Handoff right side. A little bit of room initially, but the hole, it closed quickly.
On the run for Salem is number 15.
As Londonderry's Nathan Pedrick in on the stop along with Will Reyes. And Salem, they just bought themselves a little bit of breathing room there. A 3-yard gain to set up second and 7.
They did, Nick, but that defensive line is giving the linebackers a good opportunity, giving them good looks. Ask any linebacker. They love defensive linemen that control individually the one-on-one with the offensive lineman and open up green for them to be able to see vision, for them to be able to see, make the tackle, and that's what you saw right there.
That brings us to the end of the first quarter. Londonderry, they score on their opening possession, and they lead it 7-0. The difference to Dylan McEachern, 8-yard touchdown run. We'll switch ends of the field. Salem will face a 2nd down and 7. We remind you that our broadcast of today's Friday Night Lights New Hampshire doubleheader. 2 games of the week today, but, well, they're both being brought to you by Beals Insurance Agency. Locations now in both Bedford and Londonderry. Whether you need home, auto, or business insurance, Beals Insurance will get you both the price and quality coverage that's right for you. Call Steve at 603-471-9999 or visit BealsInsurance.com. And that's right, it is doubleheader today. We will be
I'm loving it.
in Amherst tonight as BG visits Souhegan at 6 p.m.
Hats off to Salem on that defensive stop, Nick. That's what good teams do. They somehow find a way to get it done when they're down to the wire, and that would have been a big touchdown. I know how badly Coach Lozon wanted that touchdown because he called a timeout. He wanted to get it right. But something that Salem did is they changed their technique, they changed their shade, and it's had a real impact. I want to see how Coach Lozon reacts to that now.
You mentioned
with facing that
earlier. It seemed like the first 10 minutes of the game or so, the trench was dominated by Londonderry.
No doubt.
Not on that last series, though,
Nope.
as Salem finally answered the bell. 2nd down and 7 from their own 6 as we begin the second quarter. Salem with the ball, trailing 7-0. They go up the middle.
Nice.
And a little misdirection gives a little bit of room that time for Dante Fernandez. His second carry. The junior didn't get much, though. Out to the 11-yard line. So 3rd down and 2 is on the way here. Tackle made by the Londonderry linebacker, Robert Durhawk.
Salem defense needs a rest right now, Nick. This first down's important so they can get a little water, a little bit of breather, and feel good about what they accomplished. But if you go 3 and out, that puts them right back out in the field again, makes you play uphill.
Well, they have not picked up a first down yet.
I know. That's what I'm saying. This is big.
Right. Two 3 and outs in the first quarter, and facing that prospect here on 3rd and 2. They keep it on the ground. They go left side.
I think they got it.
And they've got the first down and more. As Jacob Brady, the senior, able to take advantage of a hole there along the left side of the line and gets what he needs for a first down.
Not a lot of numbers over there on the sideline, and they've got some of the younger players that are obviously coming to the varsity game, which is great experience. But they're probably running a little bit lean. It's really important that this drive stays sustained for Salem to provide the key defensive players a rest and get that and keep Londonderry on the field.
Yeah. All right. 2 wingbacks to the left as the pitch is made by Bates, taken in by McDonald, who does get a little bit of room on the edge there, out past the 20 and up close to the 25 on the carry. That was Fernandez, not McDonald.
Yep.
And E.J. Donovan, one of the leaders up front for Londonderry, able to track him down for the tackle.
But nice run by Fernandez. Runs low and hard, shoulders down, head up. Knows where he had a target point of where he wanted to get to, and he got that and a few extra.
That's the longest play from scrimmage for Salem so far, an 8-yard pickup. It comes 2 minutes into the second quarter. Salem trailing at 7-0. Again, a hard count, and again a counter handoff stuffed up the middle by Londonderry.
That's the 3rd time they tried that, Nick. It's not there. You generally want to run maybe 1 or 2 counters a quarter max. It is the second quarter, but I think that's their fourth that they've run so far. You really want to establish the flow on the power side, and then counter back after you've established that run and forced the defense to over pursue.
Yeah, no gain on the play. 3rd down and 2. Gear credited for his 3rd tackle on that previous stop. Snap taken by Bates. Handoff left side. 1st down and more. On the move is Fernandez all the way to midfield before he's knocked out of bounds. Well, that is now the longest play from scrimmage as Fernandez able to take it nearly 26 yards on the carry.
That was all Bates right there. He did a phenomenal job of faking it twice, Nick, up the middle, and that was a wonderful job that he did there. That was great execution. I leave Bates in the game. I like the way he's handling the offense right now. Thought he did a good job the first round other than the penalty.
Well, that's what makes the wing tee so dangerous when it's executed well. Here's a pitch on 1st and 10. This is McDonald trying to hop his way across the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, I want to get
out of bounds after about a 3-yard pickup to the Londonderry 47-yard line.
Let's give a call out to number 23. I don't see a 23.
That's Fernandez. He's listed as number 20.
Yeah, well, let me tell you, that kid has come here to play. He just took on a guy who had 50 pounds on him and created a great block for the run. It's just very impressive.
Yeah, he's picked up 32 yards on his last 2 carries.
Salem Blue Devils playing with heart as well as the Lancers both.
It's the best they have looked on offense so far. 2nd down and 5 officially from the Londonderry 47-yard line. Bates going to throw this time. He's got time. He cocks back. He goes down the seam, but too strong.
Wow.
And incomplete, trying to hook up with Michael Booten, who did have a step, but just too much arm on that throw, 3rd and 5.
Really like the call, Nick. You got Londonderry all coming up. They had 9 guys up, and the 2 guys that were back really weren't thinking about anybody getting behind them. So I really like the call by Coach Obraham and the offensive staff. Just an execution issue. But I agree. He had a yard and a half or so if that ball was well thrown.
Nearly 3 minutes into this second quarter. Salem trying to keep their best-looking drive going, trailing it 7-0. On 3rd down and 5, Bates goes to the tailback, and he goes nowhere. Fernandez hit immediately about a yard or so behind the line of scrimmage. Second effort gets him back to that line of scrimmage, but not nearly enough. 4th down now and 5.
I don't know who that was, Nick, that made that stop, but that was a brick wall that he ran into.
Well, one of the Londonderry two-way stars, Colby Ramshaw, he's down there at 6'4" on the D end. He got a lot of push on that last play.
But let me tell you, that's a piece of granite in the granite state right there.
That's right. 4th and 5. Let's go for it, says Coach Abraham. Salem's offense stays on the field. Bates on a rollout is not going to get anything. In fact, is tackled by a number of Londonderry defenders 2 yards in the backfield.
Sometimes as a coach you get frustrated that you can't do the basic plays up the middle. And if there's anything that I see here, Nick, I just call it like I see him, right or wrong. But way too much counter stuff. The stuff where he's flooding the zone with blockers, and he's got some good runners and Fernandez there to turn up field. They seem to be getting yardage, and then they started going to the side by east-west stuff, and it's not working.
It is not so far. Londonderry, a key defensive stop there. They take over just shy of midfield here. Still plenty of time to go before halftime. 8.5 or so remaining in this second quarter. All right, McEachern, who saw the offense sputter near the goal line and come up empty on the last drive, is going to air it out. Hit as he throws, down the middle looking for Raza. That one is incomplete. Salem's Jack Milos in on the coverage. 2nd down and 10.
Obviously, the referee staff is going to let it go today, Nick. They're going to let the receivers and the defenders go at it a little bit. A little bit of contact there. Could have gone either way. I like the call because it wasn't anything blatant, and they both kind of moved towards the ball. So I like it when they let the receiver and the defenders go at it a little bit.
Let them play.
Let them play, man.
Seems like the play overall has smoothed out. We saw a number of flags in the opening minutes, but no penalties either way so far in the second quarter.
Good officiating.
On 2nd down, McEachern trying to find room up the middle, hit by Fernandez after he crosses the 50 into Salem territory down around the 49-yard line.
Yeah.
Call it a gain of 4. 3rd down and 6 coming.
Yeah, number 72 has got to continue to block upfield. Can't just stop. Got to keep on going. He's a good offensive lineman too.
That's Hayden Fielder.
He's
6'5", 260.
Yeah, he's
That's
all there.
Size,
no doubt about it. But he's got to continue down the field.
All right, 3rd down and 5. McEachern in the pistol, dual wing back, one to each side. He puts man in motion, takes the snap, rolls out left side. Pitch is taken. This is Reyes, and can't find the edge. Again, Milos comes in spearheading out of the secondary to make the stop. Reyes officially no gain on the run. 4th down and 5 coming, and the Salem defense yet again,
Steve. Just going to say it, Nick. You're right on. Yeah, defense has come to play
in the game, at least so far in this first half.
I think the offense needs the same quarterback to come in. Pick your guy, let him go the rest of the game, and then you work for your starting spot next week. But pick the guy you want, let him go, because that's what's stalling the Blue Devils so far. Defense is here to play.
Fernandez awaiting at his own 20-yard line. Londonderry with Fawcett, who handles the kicking and punting duties from his own 45. Gets off a good one. High in the sky down the middle. Fair catch called for and made outside the 10-yard line by Fernandez. So a good punt, no return. Tough starting field positioning here for Salem as they come back on, still trailing at 7-0 inside of 7 minutes to go until halftime.
Been watching the Lancers the last 2 weeks, and there's 3 phases of this game: offense, defense, and special teams. And the special teams play on the kickoff, kick return, as well as the punt game has been fabulous and sharp. No mistakes, no penalties. This is a well-run, well-oiled machine.
And of course, the punt return team blocked a punt earlier from Salem.
It's a big difference in the game so far.
Mustafa back under center after a series off. Takes the direct snap. Give is to the left side. Fernandez spins in the hole, but is yanked down from behind and eventually whistled down at about the 11-yard line. Not a whole lot there, Steve. 2 or 3.
Yeah.
Londonderry continuing to do a good job bottling up the Salem run.
Yeah, but Salem's making it a little bit easy for him as well, because they're not getting through the line. The wing T is supposed to get through the line immediately, and what's happening is it's taking too long for the plays to develop, and then by that time that great defensive line of Londonderry is already penetrated. They got to get through quickly, quick chip block. That's all you're going to get off of them.
Midway through the second quarter, still a 7-0 Londonderry lead. If you just joined us, Lancers did score on their first drive, an 8-yard touchdown run by quarterback Dylan McKecker, and the only scoring so far. Here's McDonald with speed, but not a whole lot of room. Does reach nearly the 20, though. He's close to the first down. Ridden out of bounds, I think it's at the 19-yard line. Officially, they'll call it a 6-yard pickup.
Yeah, don't be afraid to keep doing the same thing if it works and force them to stop it. You got to do something with Londonderry to force them to adjust their defense and then react with a counter after that. Let's see what they do here. I mean, there seems to be the ability to get some yardage on the left side, Nick, not much on the right or through the middle.
3rd and 3. Mustafa takes the snap, and they go to McDonald on a jet sweep. A shoestring tackle is made. That is Lucas Seaman, who has played well at the corner spot in this first half. Makes a first down saving tackle, and now Salem has to punt.
But he had Lucas running full speed to the outside. He had him turning his hip outside while he was trying to stretch the field. Well, he's got to make an immediate decision to cut up field. What he allowed was he slowed down, and that allowed Seaman to square his hips off and make a tremendous tackle.
Only goes for a yard in the end. 4th down and 2. Salem, Booten, left-footed punter, gets off a good one. Raza is going to field it in play. Spins at his own 45, trying to creep away to the right. And is tackled at about the 47-yard line, eventually wrestled down by Salem's Thomas Ehlers. So another drive that begins around midfield. Londonderry has won the field position battle so far. Still plenty of time on the clock, 5 minutes and change before halftime. Londonderry trying to build on their 7-0 lead.
Absolutely, and they shut down that penetration coming through the line because they have a good kicker. Give him a yard to kick the ball away. Did a good job. Got a lot of field position there for a high school game.
So McKeckard, who has been bottled up as a runner, remember he broke a long one last week in the win over Pinkerton, ended up with over 200 yards on over 20 carries, but nowhere near that kind of production so far against this Salem front seven. Handoff left side, and good job there, keeping the legs turning. That's Hayden Austin, able to spin and nearly picked up a first down, a gain of 8 in the end to set up a 2nd down and 2.
And boy, when you're an offensive guy in an offensive style program, Nick, you love 2nd and 2s.
Yeah, it opens up the playbook for sure. Everything on the table on this down from this distance. McKeckern It's been a fast-paced, up-tempo offense again in the first half for Londonderry. And off to Reyes. No, they fake to Reyes. McEachern keeps it, but doesn't get much up the middle. Met by Salem's Morgano, who's been active
I think he's a little short
defensively. Yep, 3rd and 1. They needed 2. They only got 1. So a 3rd and 1 coming as we approach the 4-minute mark here, second quarter. Londonderry hoping to keep the drive alive and build on this 7-0 lead. Back up the middle.
You got it.
It's Hayden, and yes, sir, enough for a first down, down to the Salem 35-yard line.
By number 4, Jacob Brady. It's good for a Lancer first down.
Well, they mark him at the 40, my mistake. 1st and 10 coming from the Blue Devil 40. Again, not a whole lot of time in between snaps.
39.
They go on a stretch. Raza still untouched. First down and more, knocked out of bounds inside the 30 after a 12-yard pickup.
Brought out of bounds by
Raza knew that he had the blockers out in front across the line of scrimmage, so when that happens, you wait for him to develop. You go if it's behind the line, but if it's in front of you and those blockers are downfield, Raja knows exactly what he was doing there, let those blockers develop, and he was able to choose a hole and go. He's a very elusive runner, makes good choices.
Yeah, he's been the hot hand so far. McEachern going to keep it in his hands, left side. Not a lot of room, though.
On the run is number
Again,
14,
wrapped up
Dylan
around the
McEachern.
waist by Thomas Ehlers. Good form tackle there. Not much, maybe 2 to set up a 2nd and 8.
Gain of 3 on the play.
You got to give Salem, they got to feel pretty happy. It's only a 7-0 game, and it probably easily could be a minimum of 2-score game, and that defense has kept them in.
Yeah, they came up with a crucial 4th down and goal stop that kept this at 7-0. Here's a pitch on 2nd and 7. Hayden rolls
12,
forward.
Hayden Austin. Stopped on the play by number 4.
Taken down by Brady, who's been in the middle of that Salem storm defensively. Pretty good yardage, though, to set up a 3rd down and 3.
Gain of 4 on the play.
As we hit the 3-minute mark.
Clearly 4-down territory unless they want to try to get 3. Be an interesting call if they don't get the first down, Nick, because they have a this is definitely within his range.
Yeah, Fawcett, one of the stronger legs in the state. Started last year as a junior, and well, he's back as a senior and certainly has that kind of strength with the right foot. But we'll see if they need it. 3rd down and 3. They keep it in O'Loughlin's hands. He's the backup quarterback.
It's going to be close. I don't think he's got it.
And O'Loughlin on his first carry is going to come up a little short. It'll be 4th down and 1.
They're going.
Yeah.
4th down and 1.
And very quickly as well. They're going to keep O'Loughlin on. It's a fake snap, direct snap to the running back.
I think they got it.
Snap to number 12, Hayden Austin.
It's going to be very close. The officials are going to say, hang on a second, no signal yet. And they may ask for a measurement here. It was 4th and 1.
I don't know, Nick.
It may depend on the spot. The clock frozen with 2:16 to go.
Yeah, that's not I wouldn't call that a generous spot from the Londonderry side of the equation there.
Timeout on the field.
But Raja is signaling first down, so he must have seen something there. We'll see.
Well, the officials have not signaled anything. They're going to bring out the chains and take a look. Coach Lozon, meanwhile, a few steps onto the field on the sideline, watching alertly.
He's got it.
Yep, by the nose of the football, not by much.
First down.
So Londonderry will keep it. That is their 3rd 4th down conversion of this first half. They're now 3 for 4 on 4th down.
I thought he had another foot or two, Nick, and but maybe his knee was on the ground. That's probably what happened.
They mark this at the 20. We resume play. Clock rolling towards 2 minutes. Londonderry trying to make this a 2-score game at the break. O'Loughlin going to stay out there. McEachern has been sidelined apparently until further notice. He is down there on the sideline. This one, a jump ball knocked away. A
nice
great
play.
Defensive play.
Nice play.
Pass was incomplete, intended on the play for Eric Raza.
I believe that was Peter Bealey.
Peter Bealey.
Yeah, it was.
Bealey got his right hand on it. Great jump ball. Good timing to deny the end zone toss.
Yeah, well, the play developed, waited a split second, should have thrown that a little bit earlier, and as a result of that, gave that the defensive cornerback an opportunity to get back, bat the ball down, but no mistake. That was a very solid defensive play.
2nd down and 10. O'Loughlin going to stay on the field here. And keep it himself. Fake handoff, runs to the left, cuts it up the field, is tackled from behind inside the 15-yard line.
On the run was number
After
1,
a pickup
O'Loughlin.
of about 5. Looks like they'll give Ehlers credit for the tackle.
Looks like McEachern's getting some attention, Nick.
Yeah, I wasn't sure what that was. He may have been rubbing his neck a little bit as he was talking to either an assistant coach or the trainer, but he is not 100% apparently.
He is snapping his helmet back up, so I don't know if that means he's coming back out or what. But
he's still having a conversation with the trainer. Meanwhile, a 3rd and 5 with 1:20 and counting. O'Loughlin going to roll out to the ref, going to throw it low in the flat. The catch is made very close to the first down marker.
O'Loughlin very nonchalant in the way he throws the ball, but he wanted to throw that ball low, probably not that low, but he did want to make sure it didn't sail because the cornerback was behind him. That's how you get pick sixes. So that was a smart. He's got to establish right there in 4th down. So
4th and less than a yard. Catch made by Ramshaw, by the way, his first of this first half. Of course, the senior scored a touchdown last week in the win over Pinkerton. Meanwhile, an official's timeout stops the clock again with 1:11 to go. 4th down and inches is the call, but they're going to bring the chain gang out just to make sure.
This one I thought was a foot short. Is it? Yeah, it's short. Yep, not even a foot.
About 10, maybe 9 inches it looks like. So, 4th down. It's been the name of the game so far in this first half. Londonderry 3 for 4 on 4th downs.
It'll be 4th down.
3 of those 4 have come inside the 20, and we're about to get another one here.
Fall in New Hampshire is a pretty special place, Nick. It is an absolutely beautiful day. The colors are out here. If this doesn't reek New England football, what does?
Yeah, beautiful foliage in the backdrop. Sun is out. And we've got ourselves another 4th down and 1. Coming up on a minute to go. And now Londonderry is going to call another timeout. That is their second. Coach
timeout.
Lozon not happy. No.
That's their second.
Something went wrong, I believe.
I'm wondering if the play that he called didn't turn out to be the play that was called in the huddle and the formation. He could recognize the formation was wrong. I don't know that, but I'm just guessing. Coach Lozon, as you said, Nick, wasn't too thrilled about that.
And he doesn't hide it either.
He doesn't.
One of the more demonstrative coaches. And speaking of Coach Lozon, we talked to him last week.
I don't know anything about that.
We'll talk to him again this week.
Yes.
You know about that, I would hope.
I do.
We'll be talking to him on
why don't you go over,
Rewind
why don't you go over your
Mondays.
5-star lineup you got coming on?
Yeah,
Nick.
we got a big show Mondays. Of course, you can watch FNL Rewind every Monday. We recap the week that was and preview the week to come. But we've got, as Steve mentioned, a jam-packed show that includes Coach Lozon. It includes Salem coach Abraham and the 2 head coaches from the game we are going to cover tonight. BG at Sauhegan. That's Coach Tertiani, Coach Boquette, and, of course, Nashua's own Tom King of the Nashua Telegraph will give us his perspective from the media side as well. Londonderry wants to kick. They say forget the 4th and 1. We're just going to add 3 points to the scoreboard as Fawcett. No problem.
So the score is now
from about 32 yards out. That makes Londonderry's lead now double digits, 10-0 with less than a minute to go before halftime.
Coach Lozon trying to coach his quarterback, his backup quarterback up. All about discipline. That field goal was all about, it didn't go right. It's 4th down. Had to call a timeout. I've decided to kick. And what that does is elevates everybody. Look, you guys have got to dial in, and you got to play the game that I direct you to play, and that's why he has such respect of his players. And you watch these guys respond, and O'Loughlin's getting exact the type of coaching that he needs because, boy, he's got a nice arm on him. He's got some potential, and Coach Lozon probably knows that, and obviously knows that, and he's going to hold him to high standards. That's good coaching.
We'll keep an eye on McEachern as well as he continues to remain on the sidelines. All right. Still a minute here for Salem, although, frankly, that offense not really designed to score quickly. But Londonderry is prepared and ready to go here to kick this one deep. As Fawcett, who just knocked in the field goal. His little squib catch, taken high above the head catch by Luke Mazika.
Nice return.
And Mazika is all the way out to close to the 45-yard line. So, again, Salem, pretty good starting field position here. 52 seconds to go.
And how many timeouts for the Blue Devils? 2 left?
2 left.
Yeah, I think they only called 1. I remember down here.
First down and 10 for
so
2 timeouts, and it looks like it'll be Caleb Bates yet again under center as the quarterback.
Yeah, the question is
then both Bates and Mufasa, of course, switching in and out as the quarterback, but
looks to me like they're trying to change the ball. Run balls in, yeah.
That's another byproduct of this COVID-19 situation is that the officials don't want to touch the football. Basically, they're not supposed to touch it, at least as minimal as possible. So you're seeing the centers bring the ball in and out of the huddle, which, of course, is a different look. All right, Fernandez with room around the outside, going to cut back at the Londonderry 40, still alive at the 35. He's knocked down inbounds, they say, at about the 34-yard line. Another big rip for Fernandez, who has looked good in this first half.
I give him 100, but a great credit for running that play. The only thing, Nick, he really, the 4 or 5 yards extra by turning up fields cost them some time. If it starts running here, Nick, you really want to aim for that sideline, get out of bounds to stop the clock. Now they're going to lose 12, 13 seconds on it.
The clock is ticking inside of 35
to
go.
Out of bounds.
All right, again, it's Bates. Snap taken.
Broken play.
In a little bit of trouble, trying to scramble. Yeah. He's knocked down near the line of scrimmage. Okay. So they've gotten a couple there.
So, Nick, here's the situation there. He runs outside. You've got the
timeout here, Big Steve, just to say. Timeout, 24 seconds to go.
And so Fernandez runs outside in that situation. The clock stops, and they have all the time in the world to think about, call an offensive play and execute, and not worry about having to force it quickly. And that's what happened. They had a broken play there. And then what happens? Now the clock starts running because of the broken play. You got to call a timeout. Not the way that you. If Fernandez had gone out of bounds in that situation, you would have had 41 seconds and no worries.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's just you got to work that clock, especially if you're a wing T running offense when you get the opportunity. No difference than a receiver downfield needing to get out of bounds.
Yeah, he made a cut to try and get a couple of extra yards.
He's hungry.
Better served to step out of bounds. But either way, clock stopped now with 24 seconds to go. A 2nd and 9 coming from the Londonderry 33-yard line is Salem trying to get on the board before halftime, trailing 10-0.
But they just lost a timeout, and they lost 16 seconds of what they normally would have had. And those seconds are precious when you've only got 2 to call. But let's see what they can do.
Well, the Blue Devils may at some point decide to go to the air. And that has not worked out by and large so far for the Blue Devils. Yet to complete a pass, I believe.
No, I think you're right.
All right, Bates. See if he throws here on 2nd and 9. 24 seconds to go. Man in motion. Snap. They fake to him. They roll back. Bates cocks back. A good throw looking for Fernandez. Incomplete. Well, Fernandez, it looked like just lost it.
Pass was
tried to twist and turn, and that ball ends up hitting the ground out of bounds. Incomplete. So now a 3rd down and 9 coming. 18 seconds remaining second quarter.
So those are 2 well-executed plays from the running pattern. But I'll tell you, the bad news is he keeps sailing these balls. The good news is he's got a heck of an arm.
Yeah,
just got to be able to tone it down a little bit. And
well, that one may have been caught if Fernandez, I think,
turned the wrong way.
Yeah, he didn't look like he could quite locate it.
Yep.
And had he been able to track that the whole way, that might have been a different outcome. But let's see. 3rd down and 9. Again, the ball inside the 35-yard line. Again, 2 wingbacks to either side of the quarterback, Bates. Londonderry going to show some pressure. They bring the blitz. They throw it out to Fernandez. He's going to throw a left-handed pass. It's incomplete.
Flag down.
Tried to find McDonald down the sideline. McDonald dropped it. And as Steve mentioned, a flag came in late. All this coming with 11 seconds remaining on the scoreboard. Officials going to talk about it here. That one, where'd that flag come from, Steve?
Looked like on the side judge over in the far end there on the visitor side. I don't know if they. I'm not sure if they thought he went over the line of scrimmage. I don't think he did. I mean, it was way down here, so I don't think it's that. Illegal man downfield, possibly. You know, when you roll out like that offensive line starts to sneak downfield and they break the plane. I think that may be what the discussion's about.
Yeah, that was kind of where I was going. Long discussion here by this 4-man crew.
Yeah, no flag. They picked it up. Yep. So I think that was that's one of the things we talked about last year, Nick. The referees in high school football conference a lot more than they used to, and it's really made the game better and better officiated. I give them, they've just done a great job.
You've highlighted that for the last few years.
Yeah, if you don't really know conference, because everybody respects a decision that comes out of a conference, you never know if someone else sees saw something that you didn't or said, not really, okay, right. And pick the flag up, have the courage to do it. Great job by the staff.
All right, Salem on a 4th down and 9. It'll be their first 4th down attempt of this first half. We've seen 4 on the other side from Londonderry. Bates down the right side, a jump ball, and knocked away at the last second by Lucas Seaman. He denies the receiver, Jack Milos, inside the 10. Seaman has played a spectacular first half defensively.
He has, Nick.
And Londonderry comes up with the stop they want with 4 seconds to go,
and that is
before halftime.
That is not an easy frame to stop, right? I mean, to defend right there. I mean, he's got, 6 inches on him probably?
And Milos had 2 hands on it, but Seaman
and he didn't give up.
Able to knock it down on the way to the ground.
It's just attitude and culture. That's just how they play the game. But I'll tell you one thing right now. I wouldn't mind working with this quarterback. This kid's impressive so far.
Yeah, the backup O'Loughlin will take a shotgun snap and drop to Anita to end the first half. A good one for the defending champions, Londonderry, with a 10-0 lead on what has been, Steve, a defensive football game through 2 quarters.
I think if you would have asked Jimmy Lozon, he'd tell you, I think we should be up by at least 14, 17, something like that, 17 or 21 or somewhere in that range. I think he's probably going to go in the locker room a little dissatisfied with the score because he really did control the game. But you got to give a lot of credit to the Blue Devil defense, Nick, that just does not care how many 3-and-outs happen. They just keep on going. Offense is behind. This offense looks a little bit like Pinkerton. They're a little bit behind. They're playing one of the top, if not the top 2 teams for sure, at least if you're going to rate them right now in the state. In Londonderry and I think obviously Nashua North, right? But they're certainly up there, and so you're playing a good team. But this defense of the Blue Devils is for real, and they've come to play, and to hold them to 10 points is pretty impressive so far.
All right, we will step aside. We'll watch, just like you will at home, the Londonderry band perform here at halftime, and then we'll come back, set you up for the second half, and also take a look at the second part of our doubleheader. The game between BG and Souhegan tonight in Amherst. That's the second part, again, of our doubleheader. It's a special Saturday edition of the Friday Night Lights game of the week. This is FNL NH. I'm Nick Anastas with Steve Beals. Back to Londonderry in a moment. Lancers leading Salem 10-0 at halftime.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it one more time for your Londonderry Lancer High School Marching Band.
All right, back here at halftime, 10-0 Londonderry leading Salem. Nick and Astis Steve Beals, part of our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week doubleheader. Will be at BG at
now, ladies and gentlemen,
Sauhegan
for the second half
later tonight.
Today's halftime
Well, today's broadcast, of course, brought to you by Beals Insurance Agencies. Locations in both Bedford and Londonderry. Whether you need home, auto, or business insurance, Beals Insurance will get you both the price and quality coverage that's right for you. Call Steve at 603-471-9999 or visit BealsInsurance.com. We just saw the world-renowned Londonderry band take the field, and now the Londonderry dance team is out here performing as well. But, boy, Steve, we had a great first half. It was really took on a defensive feel as the half progressed.
Yeah, I think that one of the key points of the game was marching down to our right here near the, I guess it's around the 10 or 8 yard line, or maybe it's close to the 20, when Coach Abraham changed up the defensive strategy, and it worked. And I think that's why they can come out in the second half and make a go for it. They are going to have to kick off to Londonderry because they deferred. But if they can make that stop and get to good field position, this could be a game.
Yeah, the Lancers did score on their opening drive. The only touchdown either way came with about 5 minutes to go in that first quarter. Dylan McEachern from 8 yards out. It was on a fourth down, and it put Londonderry on the board after the extra point, out in front 7-0. Then we had a block punt. Londonderry had a chance to go up by double digits, but instead the Salem defense came up with a big fourth down stop at the 3 yard line. Salem's best drive came about midway through the second quarter, but did not result in points as they were stopped on fourth down. Londonderry would come back to add a field goal in the closing minute. And that is where we are, 10-0. We've seen a little bit of the ground game. We've seen a lot of defensive stops. A little bit of special teams sprinkled in there as well. So if I was anybody's guess,
if I was Salem, I'd be saying this could have been worse. And if I was Londonderry, I'd be saying, wow, we gotta come out and score. However, McEachern never came out in the first half after he went off the field. It's going to be very interesting to see who takes the helm as they come out, because, you know, O'Loughlin shows some strong elements to his game, and there's a lot to be said for that, but you never want a situation where you have to come in a situation like this against a very, very, very solid football team in Salem. McEachern brings that tremendous running game and decision-making game to Londonderry. Let's see. That'll be very interesting to see who comes out and starts the second half.
Yeah, McEachern was taken out of the game.
Something necky. I don't know.
Yeah, he remained on the sideline, remained with his helmet on. A couple points, it looked like he was grabbing, kind of massaging the neck, as you pointed out. Had a conversation with the Londonderry training staff, and we have not seen him yet. That does not mean we will not see him, however. Aiden O'Loughlin took over and looked pretty good in his stead. Both seniors, remember, they were both involved in really a camp battle for that starting spot before it went to McEachern in the end. So O'Loughlin, he's got some talent. Of course, he's a member of the secondary on defense as well.
Yep. Seaman stands out on defense for Londonderry as well. Been some key plays where he's been involved and made some big stops. Not on an easy running back to stop in Fernandez a few times, as well as other. I thought Raja has done a great job on defense, but an excellent job running the ball for Londonderry. I really like the way he watches his lead blockers and then chooses a lane and shoots through 100 miles an hour. Very heady runner. Very knowledgeable to make a quality decision of which lane is the best one to take. And when he makes that decision, he goes full tilt.
Yeah, he went over 50 yards on the ground in that first half. Yep. Salem's leading rusher. All right, Coach Abraham, he's got his guys ready to go on the far sideline. Londonderry now settling in on the near sideline. A reminder, we'll talk to both those head coaches on Monday. FNL Rewind presented by Beals Insurance. You can catch it live every Monday, 5 o'clock Eastern. We've got both Coach Lozon and Coach Abraham on the program in the first half hour coming up Monday.
And tell them how to become a subscriber.
Good point. Well, you're watching us now. You're watching us on our YouTube channel. That's FNL NH Media. FNL NH, of course, short for Friday Night Lights New Hampshire. FNL NH Media. Find us online. Find us on YouTube. Hit the subscribe button. And we really appreciate it.
And hit that bell icon for notifications.
That's right.
We don't blast people with emails. Our production manager, Ben, is very astute at that. Not all we do is let you know what the game of the week is and won't bother you for anything else. And that way, at least ahead of time, you'll know.
That's, again, FNL NH Media on YouTube. We appreciate the subscriptions.
Nick Anastas makes the call every week, usually by Monday. So on FNL Rewind, Nick will make the call on the game we're going to do the following week. Had a little mix-up this week because of the weather. As it's turned out, we made a great decision by doing the doubleheader on Saturday.
Again, originally the plan was Friday night to do Merrimack at Nashua North, but that game was canceled due to a coronavirus outbreak within the Merrimack school system.
Postponed, right? It looks postponed, to be played a later date.
All right, Londonderry, they won the coin flip at the beginning of the game, and they deferred.
Especially they like on that now.
They will receive with a 10-0 lead. They'll send Raza back deep along with fellow wide receiver Nick Azadorian, who did not touch the football in that first half. They both stand back with their toes around the 10-yard line. Booton is the
getting set
punter.
To kick off for Salem is number 4, Jacob Brady.
And Brady, who's the middle linebacker / running back, is going to handle the kick off the tee. First time we've seen Salem do that, obviously, today. So the second half underway. This one is a good kick back to the 10 where Raza will field on the run. Across the 20 to his left. Makes a cut at the 25, trying to avoid a man at the 30, but that is where his journey will stop.
Number 24,
stopped by Ehlers, who racked up a handful of tackles for Salem in that first half.
One of the things you want to look at for Salem, even though it's pretty cool here, the sun's pretty strong even so today. Salem's running with a I would say a narrower or smaller total number of players that are out in the field. It's going to be very interesting midway through the third quarter. The fatigue factor. So far, these guys look like they're in pretty good condition. So
a number of two-way players.
Yes.
Really both ways, but for Salem especially, as you mentioned. O'Loughlin will get the start as the Londonderry quarterback to begin this third quarter, and on an option run, he is spun down for a loss.
Number 1,
nowhere to go, tracked down from behind by Salem's Noah Poulin, who really is starting to establish himself in the trench for Salem.
Well, again, the gaps that they're firing and the way that they're getting separation now, much better separation from the offensive linemen of Londonderry, and that's allowing them to be able to get around. So if it takes a long time, O'Loughlin's got to come up field a little quicker than that. McKecken, obviously, our point, not in the game.
Second down and 11, officially a yard loss. O'Loughlin going to throw this time. He's got time. He throws, and it's incomplete. Well, some contact there, but some well-timed contact is Damian Gigante, the junior, able to deny the intended receiver Ramshaw. It'll be third and long.
No latency delay on that tackle, Nick.
That's right. I mean, it arrived at the exact time the ball did.
Hard to call a penalty on that. That was well-timed.
Yep. For the most part, after a somewhat rocky start, both teams have played pretty clean football most of the afternoon. 3rd and 11, a rollout pass is incomplete. Trying to find a man along the sideline, but a little too strong, intended for Azadorian, and a 3-and-out is a win for the Salem defense there.
Down and 11.
I don't see McKeckern on the sideline. There he is right here. So he is on the sidelines, but he is out. as of right now.
Yeah, he's still got his helmet on. But
Yeah, he does.
just kind of standing off by himself right now, not talking to the training staff or his teammates. So not a good sign for McEachern as he continues to rub that neck with his right hand. Here's a punt. Fawcett's end over end, straight in the air. Fernandez will field it without a fair catch at midfield and into Salem territory at about the 48, maybe the 47.
So this plays right into what we were talking about at halftime, Nick, about Salem making the stop, grabbing some field position. Again, the score's 10-0, not 20-0. It's a big difference when you have your backup quarterback in. This looks like it's going to play itself out to be a pretty good half, Nick. I'm kind of excited to see how this all goes forward. These games count.
Both teams, Steve, have had decent field position.
Yeah.
They have not been strangers to beginning a drive at midfield. And that is where they will begin things here with Bates back under center for Salem. It's a pitch, nearly got away from Fernandez. The junior able to reel it in with the fingertips. And not only get back to the line of scrimmage, but gain a couple there on the far side. Pickup of 2 to set up second down, and 8. Aiden O'Loughlin, who is again both the safety now and the quarterback for Londonderry, makes the stop.
Acrobatic move by Fernandez. Kid impresses me. That pitch was very low, and to be able to keep himself of feet and get looks like about 2.5 yards. That was, I think Salem will take that. So the offensive line work, Nick, by Salem is going to be interesting to watch here if they can contain it.
Second down and 8, officially at the Londonderry 46-yard line. This is a counter for Brady, and not much along the left side.
On the run for Salem.
Coming in on the stop, Will Reyes, really the heart and soul, some say at least, of this Londonderry defense, makes a big stop.
I think he's an all-stater, Nick, this year. He's got that guy. He reads the ball. He reads his keys very, very well. And when he decides to shoot a gap, he doesn't waste any time. He goes to daylight, and he finds where the ball is very effectively, and an excellent form tackler.
And he's talking up his teammates right now on a big 3rd and 6 upcoming. Salem, meanwhile, ready to go with 2 backs behind Bates. Takes the snap. They go to the wing back on a stretch. It's McDonald. Needs to get inside the 40 and won't. Stopped at about the 41-yard line. Good stop again by Londonderry. Trevor Weinman leading the attack.
One thing we're seeing develop, this has been something I've seen for a while. Before they make next play, Nick, I just want to call a point there that the downfield blocking by Salem has got work to be done. They have to work on it. They're stutter stepping. Instead of going out and plowing out the Londonderry receiver and creating room for him to cut the seam and run, they're kind of dancing in front of the block and allowing them to shed and get to their running backs without any gain.
4th down and 3. Salem 0 for 1 on 4th downs today. They need to gain the 38-yard line. Against a 4-man front, the pitch is Fernandez. And he's tripped up in the backfield for a loss. Flexing his muscles there for Londonderry is Riley Bowles, who made a big stop to get his team the football back.
You can't beat it outside every single time. There's one thing in youth football, Nick. Everybody tries to run inside, and who's ever the fastest. That doesn't happen in high school and college football. You've got athletes just as good as you. That situation, Fernandez had them all chasing outside, should have immediately elled and cut up field there, and he would have had the first down. But he's got great speed, great athlete, but he's not going to beat every single player outside on the Londonderry defense.
Yeah, I mean, they were running towards the strong side.
Absolutely.
And that's a lot to ask for.
Cut up field.
For the blockers on the outside to hold the block that long, really. But let's see what Londonderry can do with it.
Oh, nice defensive
Not
play.
much, as O'Loughlin is spun down again in the backfield for about a yard loss.
On the keeper was number 10.
I
42.
believe, yet again, that was Gigante, who's starting to step forward here as one of the top defenders for Salem. But in the area again was, well, a guy who's been down there in the trench most of the afternoon. That's Noah Poulin.
Looks like Londonderry's struggling a little bit with the tempo and the flow of the plays, Nick, with the new quarterback in.
Nearly 4 minutes in. Still 10-0 Londonderry. Lancers have the ball. And look at this. It's a draw and a run up the middle by the 3rd quarterback to take a snap. That's Drew Heenan, a 5'8 sophomore who has come into the game and moved the sticks for the Lancers.
Yep. That's a nice choice to run the ball. They the middle of the linebacker core kind of went back to cover the middle of the field for the receivers coming on a cross pattern, and he just took it right upfield. Nice job.
Yeah, so Heenan going to stay on the field with a wingback to his right in the pistol. The give up the middle is for Hayden, and not a smooth handoff, frankly.
No.
And not a lot of running room up the middle as he spun down. Lucky to get back to the line of scrimmage, as again, Poulin was in the area for Salem.
Tackled on the play by number 65, Andrew Sullivan.
Yeah, the next score of this game, Nick, is really going to be big because it's going to define the direction of the second half. Yeah. And I think if Salem can hold and somehow they go down and score, that's really going to change the complexion of the game.
Meanwhile, it's a very fast-moving game as well, as both teams have stuck to the ground game. Heenan on a quarterback keeper to the outside, not much. Tackled inbounds along the Salem sideline, trying to seek the 45. He did cross the 45 where they mark him is the 44 of the Blue Devils. So 3rd down and 7 on the way as this third quarter flying by already as we hit or approach the midway point already. Londonderry still in front 10-0.
I would imagine this, if they get any kind of yardage on this, it'll be 4-down territory here.
Coach Lozon taking his time getting the play in from the Lancer sideline. Now Heenan looks ready to go. 3 receivers set out of the pistol. Snap taken. The sophomore is going to throw. Deep down the middle. Had a man, but it's incomplete. That ball hung up in the air a little too long for Arik Raza, who nearly got his right fingertips on it, but
I don't know if that would
bring it in now 4th and 7.
It didn't come off his hands well, Nick. I don't think that was tipped. I think that's just the way it kind of came off like a wounded duck. And got caught up in the breeze a little bit. It's a good thing for Londonderry that the offensive receiver was able to touch the ball because the defensive back from the Blue Devils was waiting for the INT.
Well, Fawcett on the field to punt for Londonderry. He pinned Salem deep already inside their own 10 on a punt back in the first half. One of the better kickers/punters in the state. And back deep, Fernandez awaits at about the 12-yard line for Salem. From the far hash, snap is waist high. Good punt again. Plenty of leg. Fernandez gets away. This one bounces right around the goal line and into the end zone for a touchback. So Salem will come out with a fresh set of downs. Again, trying to get on the board here, trailing midway through the third quarter by a score of 10-0.
So they got him on the 20. Here we go. Your offense has got to come out and provide some, at least move the sticks a couple times to play an equal field position game, Nick.
And as you said, give that defense a little rest as well.
I mean, that's so key when you're running a little thin by the end of the game as far as numbers are concerned and two-way players.
All right, Bates again as the quarterback. He split snaps with Mustafa in that first half. They go back to Fernandez, and this one again goes nowhere. A loss of about a yard, trying to find room to the outside. That's O'Laughlin in on the stop, combining with Sam Chow.
East-West just isn't going to get it done against Londonderry, Nick. You got to go right at them. You got to stretch the field and then turn up. These guys are just too quick. You're better off turning up early than try to beat these guys around the corner. I think Fernandez is really the only one that has the potential, and you've got to have a lead blocker to seal in order for him to be able to get him, or at least chip him.
So Fernandez lined up as a wingback here to the near side on 2nd and 11. Bates, 3-step drop, going to roll out to his left and dive for the sidelines. They're going to rule him down inbounds at about the 25 or so yard line. Needs to get up to the 30. So a pretty good pickup of 5 or 6, and now a 3rd down and 5 is on the way as we move towards 5 minutes to go in this third quarter.
Yeah, I would do that probably a couple more times, Nick, not necessarily sequentially, but I would have that quarterback drop back and look for that seam because at least that point he's a pretty good runner. He runs the ball pretty well. And it's going to force them to back up the field. Might open up your running game if you run a few of those.
Well, let's see what first-year head coach Steve Abraham can come up with here. This team trying to keep the drive alive, buried deep in their own territory at their own 24. 3rd down and 6. Man in motion, snap taken, play fake, roll out, throw to the flat is dropped by McDonald.
First down there, Nick.
Yeah, he may have had enough room to catch and then pick up the first down. Instead, McDonald, who's usually pretty sure-handed, let that one drop off his fingertips, incomplete. And now a 4th and 6 again will force Salem to punt.
You got to get that's giving Coach Lozon life here as far as having more opportunities. Be very interesting to see, once Londonderry gets the ball, if there's any change in the offensive strategy. Wouldn't be surprised if you start seeing a couple screen passes and things like that.
Booten is the punter. This one up over his head. Does handle the snap. Gets off a line drive kick with the left foot. It'll take a bounce in Lancer territory. Scooped up at the 35. To the near side, 40-45 is Raza. Spun down just shy of midfield.
It's a good-looking
Tackle made by
athlete.
Ehlers.
Good-looking athlete, Nick Raja. He does so many things for the football team. Obviously, number 12 is really hard shoes to fill, Londonderry. But
Jeff
Wiedenfeld, but he's got a lot of those type characteristics that he's so versatile for so many parts. He doesn't seem to tire either.
You mentioned Wiedenfeld. Really,
what a player!
In a lot of ways, the most identifiable name of that undefeated state championship team last year under Coach Lozon. He was the tailback. Of course, Jake McEachern was the quarterback. Both those guys hard to replace. Dylan, his brother, got the start for the second week today, but the senior out with an injury. And now Londonderry has had to juggle between O'Loughlin, the senior, and Heenan, the sophomore. O'Loughlin is back on there, took the snap, made the handoff to Austin Hayden, who picks up 5 and sets up second down and 5.
Yeah, one of the things, I like the play call there because they widened out a little bit. With 3 down linemen, they're just going to attack those gaps.
Up-tempo offense, that's been the name of the game again today for Londonderry. This time, though, a hard count, and now it looks like a reset as O'Loughlin looks over at Coach Lozon. Salem showing blitz, 3-man front. Snap taken, rolling right, throwing off the back foot, too high for Ramshaw, and incomplete. Ramshaw had a little bit of space there. The coverage by Bealey a little soft, but again, Ramshaw could not haul that one in. It'll be third down and 5.
A lot of balls sailing today by both quarterbacks, Nick. I don't know if there's a little undercurrent there or it just seems to be floating over the receivers' heads or out of range. But that would have been a good pickup, probably a first down for London if they were able to execute.
There has been a steady breeze, but no real gusts so far anyway. Inside of 5 minutes, Londonderry with a 10-0 lead and the ball on 3rd and 5. Play action run. O'Loughlin looking for the stick near side. Did he get it?
Yeah, I think he did.
Very, very close.
I think he got it.
Yes, first down.
21, Thomas Sailors.
So they needed 5 to get 6 from O'Loughlin.
He did a nice job. He saw the blocks were from the outside in, and he ran for the sidelines because that's the thing to do. They had the outside seal inside. O'Loughlin picked the right lane and just knew exactly where the sticks were, made the play.
Showing some of that speed as well.
Yep.
Of course, he's a member of the defensive secondary. All right, O'Loughlin ready to go again. Wing back to his left in the pistol. Going to drop back. Pump fake, steps up, makes a deep throw down the far sideline. Jump ball for Raza! Did he pull it in at the 10-yard line? Yes, he did. Able to sky up over the defender, Bealey, to pull that one in. A big 35-yard completion, and Raza's got Londonderry inside the 10, first and goal.
A lot of that play was because of O'Loughlin stepping up, pulling aside, great pocket work, stepping up and firing the ball. He got himself that extra second for the play to break. Great work by O'Loughlin.
Jump ball goes to the receiver on that one. Raza, an impressive two-handed catch. And now on a stretch run, a man is tripped up and he goes down. That's Azadorian on his first carry. Not Azadorian. That's Trevor Weinman. Either way, his first touch of the day. And on that stretch run, he got tripped up and went down for a loss of about 2.
2 on the play, second
down and goal from the 12. Again, no huddle. Again, O'Loughlin in the pistol. 2 receivers, strong side left. Salem with 3 down linemen. O'Loughlin says, hang on a sec. I'm going to look over at Coach. I'm going to make sure this is the play I want. Now I'm going to go ahead and take the snap. Back to throw. Under pressure. And wrapped up by Allures at first and then finished off by 2 other Blue Devils who come in on a sandwich hit. But it was Allures who came in, it looked like, Steve, off the blitz, off the edge.
Great defensive play work there by Salem, but the big thing there is O'Loughlin showed the maturity not to throw the ball. He's got his shirt grab. He's not trying to force something to happen. He's going to go down and probably 2 down territory if they can get 7 or 8 here. Well, he did the right thing.
A kick from there would be about a 37, 38-yarder.
Yeah, he can do it.
He could do it.
Yep.
So
I've seen him.
Certainly still
29-30.
That's an option.
Yeah, 29-30 is his top, probably the 24-yard line. He's inside that.
Inside of 3 minutes, third quarter. Third down and goal from the 17. O'Loughlin, screen pass. That is caught and then taken up the field by Hayden, but not for much, maybe a couple of yards.
Yeah, but that's important on a field goal. He's getting into high school. He's in that range. This is like past the 40 for a pro. It's getting deeper and deeper. A little bit of breeze, although pretty calm. This kid's been hitting a lot of them in this range, Nick.
They gave Hayden Austin 3 yards after the catch there. So 4th down and goal from the 14. That would make this about a 32-yarder, which is what Fawcett hit from in the second quarter.
He's got it.
Up, plenty of leg. Did it sneak in that upright?
No, just to the left.
By Zach Fawcett,
it did not.
No good.
Wind blowing a little bit from right to left, Steve, and that may have made the difference there at the end.
I don't know if you noticed, as soon as that ball was snapped, all of a sudden this breeze kicked up.
You're right.
It came a little bit left, but he definitely had the leg. It had
a little
the
bit
distance.
of Providence intervening on behalf of the Blue Devils.
I won't call it divine, but I'll call it Providence, right?
Well, either way, it does Salem a little bit of a favor. It stays 10-0.
Well, the Blue Devils, right? Got a little bit of...
Gives the Salem football team the football back at their own 20-yard line. Bates under center. 4-man front for Londonderry. They go right side and nowhere to go for Brady. He was hit almost as soon as he took the handoff.
Yeah. They read that play well. 52 from Londonderry.
That's Dan Gear. He's been active.
Down on the play by number 50.
All
Ramshaw
body
was over there as well, the defensive end.
Yep.
So a good team effort from Londonderry. They've been excellent up front so far against this wing tee of Salem.
From the 20.
Final 105 seconds here, third quarter.
If I was going to say one thing about Salem's running game, it's just taking too long to get through the line, Nick. The running plays are taking too long to develop, and it's just given London an opportunity to break the defensive hold or the defensive offensive line blocks and take over.
Bates on a 2nd and 10 puts Fernandez in motion. Drop back under pressure. Steps up, is hit at the line of scrimmage, and dropped down for about a yard loss. Meanwhile, a flag comes in.
On the run was number 1.
Don't really understand what that was.
Thrown on the play.
It came in late. It looked like as soon as...
Yeah, I'm wondering if it's a face mask. No, it's a hold.
Oh, it's a holding in Salem. Wow. Surprising call.
Holding against Salem.
They're going to decline, I think.
Yeah, the center, Jordan Scott, looked like he had something to say about it. It may have been against Scott. Of course, we're not sure.
Yeah, it's declined.
Decline now.
It's declined.
Well, Londonderry going to say, go ahead and throw it. It'll be 3rd down and 11.
3rd down and 11.
From inside the 20.
There's faith in your defense right there, Nick.
And why not? They've held up their end of the bargain so far this afternoon, leading 10-0. 3rd and 11 from the 19-yard line. Bates takes the handoff one way, gives another to Fernandez, who cuts upfield across the 25 and is brought down well shy of the 1st down. It'll be...
But that's what I was talking about Fernandez, Nick, is he started stretching the field to the left and he cut upfield, and that's where the yardage is.
Got 6 officially in the end, 4th and 5.
You know what I mean?
For Salem.
Yeah, Salem has run more towards the outside than they have up the middle. I think that's fair to say.
Yep.
So far in the game. All right, Booten takes a good snap.
Number 81.
Not a great
Michael
kick,
Booten,
though. Again, kind of a squib. It'll take a roll. Raza stays away. Ehlers will down it inside the Lancer 40 at about the 38-yard line. So 1st down on the way for the Lancers with 34 seconds to go before the end of the 3rd quarter.
That's a high school... that's a great kick for high school. You bound it and no return. Special teams are so important in high school football.
Got a friendly roll, too. That went about 10, maybe 12 yards. All right.
Defense, and more defense.
It's been defense and field positioning. Only one touchdown today that came all the way back in the 1st quarter with 5 minutes and change. On Londonderry's first drive, an 8-yard touchdown from Dylan McEachern. McEachern went out in the 2nd quarter, and now, Steve, we're seeing not our 2nd, not our 3rd, but our 4th different Londonderry quarterback. Aiden Washington is now in the game. The 6-foot junior gives the handoff to Hayden Austin, who picks up about 4 to set up 2nd down and 6.
Yeah, we'll see where he can take the team. I mean, it's... You know, I'm a little bit surprised that one guy hasn't come in and with only a 10-0 lead. I thought this was going to be a 35-24 game, Nick, type of thing where there's going to be a lot of scoring. But when beautiful weather, the pigskin is dry, the muscles are loose.
Ladies and gentlemen,
and we're headed to the 4th quarter with still a 10-point game. Londonderry still upholding the shutout. It's 10-0. They'll switch ends and have the ball in just a moment. Our broadcast today brought to you by Beals Insurance Agency. Locations now in both Bedford and Londonderry. Whether you need home, auto, or business insurance, Beals Insurance will get you both the price and quality coverage that's right for you. Call Steve at 603-471-9999 today or visit BealsInsurance.com.
And we got ourselves a doubleheader. We're going to go tonight.
We do. We will head right over to Amherst after this one and bring you that game between BG and Souhegan at 6 o'clock tonight. Again, watch us on our YouTube channel, FNL NH Media. Again, it's FNL, Friday Night Lights, New Hampshire, FNL NH Media. And be sure to hit the subscribe button and the bell notifications for all the updates and the good stuff like that.
And thank you so much for all the people that watched our game last week. Thousands of viewers.
Yeah.
That really...
we appreciate it.
We really do.
And it's been good football again today in week number 2. Londonderry hoping to keep their unbeaten streak alive. Remember, they ran the table last year, 9 regular season wins, 3 more in the playoffs. Trying to make it 2 in a row out the gate here in 2020 as well, if they can protect this 10-0 lead over the final 12 minutes of regulation.
Interesting flow of the game ever since the end of the first quarter, Nick. It's just been,
nonstop. It's been a very quick-moving game. All right, again, it's Aiden Washington in as the signal caller for Londonderry, and a run over left guard there. It's going to set up now a 3rd down and 4.
Yep.
After a 3-yard gain there by the quarterback.
Number 5.
McEachern, meanwhile, still on the sideline. Steve still with his helmet on, but
we're not going to see him.
Does not appear like he's going to enter the game anytime soon.
Depending on what it is, neck injuries can just be so aggravating.
Got another quarterback in again. That's Drew Heenan, the sophomore, back on. They'll roll him out to the right, gets a block, throws to Razzo, makes a tip-tap grab just in front, or beyond, I should say, the first down marker. So a 3rd down conversion will move the sticks. Raza, who made a big 35-yard catch back in the 3rd quarter, makes about a 5-yard grab here.
I'm kind of impressed with the way he rolled out and the spunk in which he plays. The new quarterback for Londonderry,
Heenan.
I really like his spunk.
Yeah, he's only 5'8". Going to keep it to him here. He'll run right side. He'll lower the shoulder.
That kid can
and
play
he'll pick
for
up
me
some
anytime.
good yardage. Knocked down by McDonald at about the Salem 45-yard line.
See the way he ran the ball, Nick? He stretched the field, lets his blockers develop, and he fires upfield. Like the tempo, like the octane level in which he approaches the game.
Yeah. Again, one of 4 different quarterbacks to see action today under Coach Lozon. Heenan. Handoff, right side. This is Austin, who was spun down near the first down marker. Very close indeed. That's Gigante again on the tackle for Salem.
I would say he's got it.
Well, the officials say yes, move the chains.
The run was good. Florey Lancer, first down.
Can't read a page without a thick set of glasses, Nick, in front of me, but can see about anything about 40 yards away.
Yeah, you've been spot on with the down in distances today.
Ball is on about the Salem 40.
Already seen 2 measurements.
Pretty comfortable atmosphere.
Back in the first quarter, right. Yeah, we got a great vantage point here up in the stands in Londonderry. Heenan on a first down carry is met by Ehlers and Brady at the line of scrimmage. Nothing there as we hit 2 minutes gone by in this 4th quarter. Londonderry, though, okay with this 10-0 lead and letting the clock run a little bit.
Yeah, I think that's what Coach is trying to do. He's trying to get some first downs here. Burn it off.
2nd down and 8. Heenan. Pitch. Bobbled. Picked up off the bounce and then driven down for a loss. That's Riley Bowles. They're going to whistle him down inbounds.
Riley Bowles on the play.
After, about a 2-yard loss.
Good concentration there by Riley to stay with that ball. Made sure he had possession before he started running. It cost him some yardage, but if you don't have possession, it's not going to matter.
Good job by McDonald to shed the block and make the tackle as well.
Salem defense, Nick, you got to really give these guys some credit. This is a solid defensive core that's going to give any football team trouble.
3rd down and 9. Can Salem come up with a stop here? Possibly get the ball back. Heenan going to change things up. Coach Lozon in direct contact with the sophomore quarterback.
Likes the left, I think.
3 down linemen for Salem. Raza in motion. Heenan's going to throw. Heaves it up. Far sidelines. Incomplete.
Wow.
Now trying to lead that receiver toward the sideline. That was Azadorian, who may have had a step. Pretty good coverage, though, by Bealey, who was right on him.
I like to throw, Nick. You got to go get that ball. You got to go at it. It's yours. It's your territory. Go after it. Make sure of it. I thought Heenan threw a pretty good ball there.
4th down and 9 will bring the punter, Zach Fawcett, back onto the field, where he'll presumably take the snap, but around midfield.
This time of year, Nick, you've got a quarterback that's had probably most of all the snaps. The timing is a little more difficult when you get multiple quarterbacks in the game.
Yeah, I think Heenan's held up pretty well.
Yes.
As have both O'Loughlin and Washington. All right. Snap taken. Fawcett barely gets it off. Was under pressure by Ehlers there. Fernandez fields it inside his own 10. Across the 15. Back to the middle at the 20.
What an
Makes
athlete.
a man miss at the 25. Picks up a block at the 30. Across the 35. And finally knocked out of bounds at about the 40-yard line. A brilliant return there by Fernandez. Quickly becoming a special team star. Oh, yeah, he's also been pretty good on offense today as well for
If
Salem.
they can get the blocking schemes down, Nick, and they can get Fernandez to be able to run cut up field, sprint, cut up field. At that point, he's going to be able to get 5-6 yards to them pretty regularly. I hope they can make that adjustment for their sake in this game. Londonderry's been able to foil it so far.
Nearly 4 minutes in, 4th quarter. Time starting to become a factor.
Yep.
Salem trails 10-0. Bates, who has taken every snap in the second half, takes another one here. He's under pressure. He rolls to his right. He's going to tuck and run along the sidelines and get nicked up just across the 40, maybe to the 42-yard line. A gain of 4, maybe 5 yards on that quarterback run.
Bates is feeling more comfortable. You could see him there as work in the pocket. He knew he was getting penetration. He was able to get it outside, and he didn't waste any time that time. Again, make your decision and go. Because if you stutter step, you're going to allow the defense the split second they need to nail you. The least pain is the quickest decision.
Gain of 4 in the end. 2nd and 6, 4 minutes in, 4th quarter. Salem still looking for their first points of the afternoon, trying to make it a one-score game. This is McDonald in motion.
No.
The counter give is to Fernandez, and again, taken down in the backfield. A group effort there by Londonderry, spearheaded by Dan Gear on the stop.
But again, Nick, you've done nothing to stretch the field. If you can't stretch the field, why is the counter going to work? I mean, there's no over-pursuing going on there. You could see there was 3 defenders, 2 in the line. The backside linebacker was just sitting and waiting for it, and it's happened all game. Stop calling the play until you can establish a power run game outside.
3rd and 7, huge play for Salem. Bates, McDonald in motion. Bates fumbled the snap, has to jump on it. And a wasted play there for Salem as the snap betrays the Blue Devils. No gain, 4th down and a long 7 now with 5 minutes even gone by 4th quarter.
And that's exactly what Coach Lozon and the Londonderry Lancers needed, Nick, was to get the ball back again. Because if they're able to get a couple first downs, this thing's going to be inside of 1.5, 2 minutes. The way that they burn off the clock.
Yeah, the clock has really been rolling this whole 4th quarter. Coming up on 6.5 to go. This one off the left foot of Booten and takes a couple of rolls out of bounds into the Londonderry bench.
I got to give this kid credit. He's been under attack all game, and he's been getting it away every time.
A couple close calls.
Yes, he's done a good job.
Including that one there.
Yep.
Well, no return, but still good field position for Londonderry. They'll take over at their own 35. And, well, the quarterback roulette continues. Who will take snaps? Said Coach Lozon going to stay with the sophomore Heenan. Well, again, if you're just joining us, McEachern, the senior, the normal starter, taken out late in the second quarter with an apparent neck injury, is not returned. And we've seen 3 different quarterbacks take snaps here, including this man, Heenan. And the sophomore going to get positive yardage. Not much, but a little bit of room there to the right. Stopped by Brady. Clock keeps going as we approach the midway point.
Got to give a big compliment here to the head coach Abraham, as well as his staff. This Salem there's a small squad of active players, like you said, Nick. A lot of two-way players. These guys are in shape. They are not slowing down at all,
no.
And he's got his team in shape. It's just a matter of getting the timing of the run game going.
Can they hang in there another 6 minutes to keep their team in the game? Fatigue may catch up at some point. Meanwhile, Austin going to exploit a hole run over the right guard and run up to midfield for a first down.
That's what Coach Lozon wants. You watch a lot of time in between plays, burn the clock. As soon as that first down marker goes, he's going to push every second he can. He's always been a coach and knows how to manage the clock well. But again, you're right, Nick. I mean, it's 5:50 left the fourth quarter. They may tire, they may not, but so far.
Well, there's a lot of hands on hips, a lot of hung heads. That's usually a telltale sign of fatigue.
But they're not showing it in their attitude when the ball snapped.
They're not. They've been able to hang in there.
Yep.
And maybe looking for a break here as Heenan fumbles the snap. He's wrapped down by Booten way back at his own 40-yard line. So this is going to make things interesting.
Almost jarred the ball loose. I don't know if you could see it. He picked up the ball and it kind of bounced around a little bit, moved around in his hands, and
you could tell Booten was gunning for that football.
Yeah, definitely, no doubt. I mean, that's the kind of thing, that's the kind of break that the Salem needs, is to get that, all of a sudden feel no fatigue anymore because the game's changed.
They lost 7 yards on the play. Second down and 17. 5 minutes to go now, fourth quarter, and again that clock tick, 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 ticking. O'Loughlin is back at the quarterback, and after a pause, he's going to tuck and run. He's wrapped up by Brady and spun down shy of the first down marker at about the Lancer 48-yard line. He needs to get to the 50 to move the sticks. So 3rd down and 2.
Interesting.
No, excuse me, 3rd and 12. I forgot about the big loss. 3rd and 12.
Gain of 5 on the play.
The original line of scrimmage is the 50.
Interesting sequencing of quarterbacks here. Really surprised. I mean, this is in, out.
Well, we'll get a full explanation on Monday.
Yeah.
FNO Rewind will have Coach Lozon back for the second straight
Again,
week.
when this shortened, practice time, he doesn't know what he really. You got to let this happen. You got to give him a chance.
He's been juggling Heenan and O'Loughlin here in the second half, almost by the snap. Meanwhile, Raza on a stretch run, great cut at the 40. Foot race inside the 30, caught from behind at the 25. It's a 27-yard run by Raza. He's had a big second half on offense for Londonderry.
Yeah, Raza to me has been the player of the game so far, Nick. He's just had an effect in so many different categories. He's kind of got that Wiedenfeld value to the team in with multi-dimensional, and it always seems like when you need something out of somebody, he steps up, and he certainly has for the team today. In a very narrow 10-0 lead, he's been big.
Well, he's been able to really plant that foot and get upfield.
Exactly. Yeah.
And he's been a factor in the passing game as well. Had Londonderry's longest throw and catch of 35 yards back in the third quarter. We're inside of 4 minutes here in the fourth. Handoff left side. This is Austin, and he's got some room. And another Lancer first down.
All
into
going
the red
downhill
zone now. And perhaps fatigue finally catching up with the Blue Devil defense.
Well, psychologically, you realize on that long play there, they're going to be able to burn it down under 2 minutes if they just hold on to the ball. Salem's aware of that, and it's hard to maintain that fight when you realize that at this point it's probably
giving up a critical 3rd and 12.
Yeah,
as we saw a moment ago, is tough on all phases. And again, a lot of hands on hips right now on the Salem side of the defense. 3 minutes to go. They've been on their heels defensively here for most of this fourth quarter. Out of the pistol, Heenan back in, quarterback keeper, and he's got more room over the right guard. Finally brought down by Brady, close to the 10-yard line. A good 6-yard chunk there as we move inside of 3 minutes to go.
Yeah, not a big guy by any sense, but pretty rugged. He's a pretty rugged package as far as an athlete is concerned, and he brings it, and he's not afraid to. And he makes a decision, and he goes with it, and it's helping him out. I thought he's done a good job today, Nick. Heenan, that is.
Yeah, not bad for a 5'8" sophomore.
Nope.
He's looked pretty good. All right, here he is again in the pistol with Austin behind him. They fake to Austin. Hayden keeps it himself.
The run is number 10.
And Heenan is swallowed up pretty quickly, both Ehlers and Brady over there. And now a timeout is going to be called by Londonderry.
That is their first.
A little surprised at that.
Well, they pointed the wrong. The official does point at Salem. That didn't make any sense.
That didn't make any sense that Coach Lozon would stop the clock.
All right, the official pointed in the wrong direction, and then he corrected himself. So 2:09 to go, 2 minutes 9 seconds, and a big 3rd and 6 coming here. Salem trying to cling to hope here, so to speak, and keep it as a 10-0 game, because if Londonderry gets in the end zone, it's pretty much officially over.
Oh, yeah. I mean, this is going to be – you're going to have a fumble or a pick six, and Coach Lozon, I don't think, is going to throw the ball at this point. You're going to have a fumble and a run back and an onside to be able to do anything here. But I have to say, I think the Blue Devils came here to play today. I think their offense needs a lot of work on getting through the line quicker, way too much east-west stuff. But the defense is, to play Londonderry with 2:09 left at 10-0, McEachern in the second half or not, it doesn't matter. That's a good defense that you can count on every week.
I can't think of one team in the state who would want to play Salem, just because how physical
it's always been that way.
They are.
Yep, you know it.
It's been like that for at least a generation. All right, on 3rd and 6, stretch play near side. This is Reyes, who's going to spin his way inside the 10,
taken by number 4,
and close to the first down marker. He's going to be about a yard shy, I believe. Well, they're going to say 4th and inches.
Yeah, my guess is they're going to just run it up in between the tackles here.
Meanwhile, the clock continuing to run until finally the officials blow the whistle with 1:50 to go. 1:50.
And the run was good.
Is that to move the chains? Or
yes, it is.
First down and
there we
goal.
go.
First and goal from the 6. Salem still has 2 timeouts in their back pocket.
Yep. No, 1. Because they just took one. They took one in the first half, right?
You get 3 in the second half, though. Here's Heenan, right side, and he's swallowed up.
On the keeper is number 10, Drew Heenan.
Stopped by Gigante, who has been very active today. He's been all over the ball for Salem.
I don't know what the heck I was thinking, Nick. You don't get 3 a game. You're right.
I knew you knew better. Now they will use, it looks like, their second. That leaves them with 1 left with 92 seconds to go, 1:32 here in this 4th quarter.
I would expect that you'll see Heenan either with a keeper or just a simple handoff between the tackles, because the last thing you want to do is cough up the ball in this situation.
And Heenan's been good.
Yes, he has.
As a running quarterback, and he's been running over guard. Again, the big gaps between linemen, helping to increase those holes. Heenan smells the end zone. Is he in? Yes, sir.
Yes.
Touchdown, Londonderry.
I think that's
It's Drew Heenan, the 5'8" sophomore, thrown into the fire here in the second half, Steve, and he's held up. Londonderry now leads 16-0.
I'm happy for him. I like his style of play. He's not afraid of anything. You look at him. He's got a lot of amp. You can see the players around him really like him.
He's going to keep that football as well, Steve.
Keep that football.
It's going to take an effort to pry it out of his hands. The
God
souvenir for the sophomore after scoring his first varsity touchdown.
Just love to see that.
Extra point here, big as well, Steve. The difference between a 2-score and a one-score game, although at 1:07, that hill looks steep for Salem to climb at this point either way. High snap, kick up. Yeah, this one is short. It may have been tipped.
I think it was.
Hard to tell. It came up short of the crossbar.
I think it got tipped.
So the extra point try fails. So Heenan, though, scores from 6 yards out, 16-0. And now Salem, they've got still 1:07 to work some magic, but it would have to be magic at this point, down 16-0.
Nice job by Heenan, though, working the ball downfield. Very attentive to his coach on the sidelines. That's something that any coach wants to see, that you are out there to execute the team's game plan. And I thought Heenan did a good job. What I really like is his attitude about running the ball, Nick. He tucks it and he goes. No dancing. He knows he's going to get contact, and he seems to like it. And that intangible element of a lot of pep and a lot of excitement, a lot of amperage, doesn't hurt his surrounding players either. He did a nice job. It amps everybody up.
Yeah, the whole sideline swarmed him.
Yep.
Getting set to kick off.
Well, that's going to be a happy kid tonight.
Yeah.
And
well deserved by the sophomore.
I have a funny feeling that Londonderry is going to have one less ball at the end of the night. I don't know what you think.
Well, I won't say anything if you don't.
I won't either. Matter of fact, I'll help him tuck it. 1:07.
Fernandez, who's dangerous, is back along with McDonald. In fact, the 3-man crew is deep, Ehlers being the third for Salem on the return. Instead, Londonderry kicks to one of the upmen, and the ball returned across the 40 up to about the 44-yard line. I believe that's Mateo Mustafa. Scored a touchdown in the blowout win last week over Albert. 1:02 to go. Salem.
First down and 10, Salem.
And they're going to have to throw now here, right, Steve?
Who's your player of the game today?
Ooh. Let me think about that.
Okay.
Give me 62 seconds.
I told you mine.
You going to stick with Reyes?
I'm going to stick with Raja.
Yeah.
Yep. I think Reyes played a terrific game as well. But
excuse me, Eric Raja.
I think Reyes played well also, but I think Raja did it on all three phases.
Yeah, had two of the biggest plays for Londonderry in the second half, for sure. All right, back to throw. Bates, little screen, far side, it's Booten. Booten going to make a cut at midfield and be tackled in Londonderry territory. But again, Steve, inbounds at the 48-yard line.
Yeah, I don't know how you do that, but you got to be telling them to get out of bounds in that situation. That extra 3 yards doesn't mean anything. It's about the time clock.
We saw Salem
but make
the same mistake at the end of the first half as well.
Now you got to waste it down.
Yeah, they're going to spike the football here. That'll stop the clock with 45 seconds remaining.
But they finally ran a screen, Nick. I would know why they haven't been running screens because, if you're going to attack Londonderry, a screen has got to be in your repertoire because they really empty out after they come after you.
Yeah.
So, that's one of those. If the counter doesn't work because you haven't established any runs, any jet motion or any off-tackle success, you don't run but yet they keep everybody's coming. Throw the screen.
45 seconds, second down and 10. Bates under center. Snap, roll, looking, throwing, near flat, incomplete. Ooh. Trying to find Fernandez, who ran into the defender, O'Loughlin.
And O'Loughlin did the right thing. Boy, that player was really
tempting.
Tempting, but he was he was defenseless in that approach, and
that's why it was tempting.
O'Loughlin just
to pop him, and
he took the body the right way, and that's what you like to see.
Yep, avoided the penalty. Again, not a whole lot of flags in the second half. Very clean football, really from the first quarter on.
Both teams.
Bit of a rough start in the first couple of drives, but that's a credit to both teams. The players and the officials today have done a good job. 40 seconds. Third down and 10 from the Londonderry 46. Bates puts McDonald in motion. Takes the snap. Rolls. Back to throw. Under pressure. He avoids one man. Stays on his feet. And then it looked like a man jumped on his back and brought him down. Asadorian.
So let's count, Nick. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You bring 7 players, and you've got 4 players back. They've been doing it every play. Keep throwing screens until you force them to do something else because the screen was there. But somebody releasing out into the center of the field. 5, 7 years down, you could run all day long. Just run for the sidelines downfield.
Salem going to have to use their last timeout to stop the clock with 24 seconds remaining.
7 o'clock start time against the Bedford.
Yeah, defense on both teams are there. I mean, they're good defenses, without a doubt, and both defenses are in condition, as well. But the offense, obviously, this is a McEachern situation here. But Heenan's come in and done a good job bringing getting some moving the sticks and getting Coach Lowe's on what he needed as far as the clock killing factor. But I think Bates has got some skills. It's just a matter of getting their offense working. There's something missing. They're not attacking the line when they run through, as I said before.
All right, final 24 seconds here. I believe Salem is out of timeouts, although it says they have 1 remaining on the scoreboard. But by my count, that was their third and final. All right. Into the gun now is Bates. 4 receivers set, 2 to each side. McDonald in motion behind him. Takes the snap. Throws deep down the far sideline. Intercepted. Lucas Seaman able to come over and make the interception, and that should be the cherry on top of the sundae. Londonderry is going to be on their way to a second straight win, and be careful there with the celebrations. Don't want to get anyone hurt.
Seaman came over and took on number 72.
Ended up on the wrong side of that collision.
On the wrong side. Wow.
They don't care. He bounced right up, and he's still getting congratulated on the sideline. That was Hayden Fielder, one of their big linemen, Steve.
And I'll guarantee you Seaman and Hayden are good buddies, so no worries there.
15 seconds, 16-0 Londonderry. Should be enough time for a snap and a knee here, and that's exactly what we'll see from O'Loughlin. So Londonderry, they get the job done and make their win streak now 14 games dating back to last season. They're 2-0 on the year, and they get it done despite the fact that their starting quarterock, Dylan McEachern, was injured and did not return in the second quarter.
Yeah, that was a big factor, but they're able to get it done. The real big deal here is what happens next week against Bedford. Is McEachern going to be healthy or not? If not, I think Coach Lozon's going to have to make a quick call on that one way or the other, because you've got to get the successor, at least for next week, ready. And
successor or successors? Because we saw three different players take snaps in the second half.
So he's got to figure that out. Certainly as far as the, certain elements of the game, Heenan comes out looking pretty strong, but O'Loughlin can throw the ball and, a little older and a little more mature. So somebody's, if McEachern can't make it, somebody's going to have a lot of reps this week.
Yeah, that'll be a question for Coach Lozon, who will join us on our Rewind show. FNL Rewind coming your way Monday, 5 Eastern.
Glory days.
Quick recap. Dylan McEachern did put Londonderry on the board initially, an 8-yard touchdown on Londonderry's first drive in the first quarter. Extra point was good. It was 7-0 until late in the first half when Zach Fawcett added to the Londonderry lead. A 32-yard field goal made it 10-0 at the break. We had a scoreless third quarter, and then in the final, just over a minute to go in the fourth, Drew Heenan, the sophomore quarterback, scored from 6 yards out. The extra point try failed. 16-0 is your final. A half tip, though, to Salem. The defense really have hung in there, Steve, all afternoon long.
A game I'd like to see is Salem and Pinkerton.
Yeah.
That's going to be a heck of a match right there.
Very similar teams.
Yep. And both developing. As we talked to Coach O'Reilly on Rewind last week, he knows exactly where his team is. I think Coach Abrahams now have 2 weeks of film to look at. And, a lot of this, I think, is just offensive tempo and the ability to get the blocking schemes working effectively and get through that line quicker. But, base look to me like a good look. If you're not going to put in Clements, base looked like a guy that's got, you work with him, he's got some potential.
Yeah. We will have Steve Abraham on the show. We mentioned Coach Lozon. Coach Abraham will actually be on first. We'll talk to him at 5:15 Eastern Time. Coach Lozon comes your way at 5:30. Again, that's FNL Rewind every Monday, 5 Eastern Time, live on FNL NH Media. That's the channel on YouTube.
But tonight, folks.
Tonight, the second part of our doubleheader. We will be in Amherst for a 6 o'clock kickoff between Bishop Girton and Salhegan. The Division I Cardinals trying to rebound after a Week 1 loss against Merrimack. While Salhegan trying to go 2-0 after a surprising 20-0 shutout victory over Hollis Brookline back in Week 1.
Little spread and shred there coming up on both sides of the ball. Both good offensive coordinators on both teams. It's going to be a fun game to watch.
It will be. So join us at 6 Eastern tonight for the second part of our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire doubleheader. Want to thank Howard Sobolov and his crew here at Londonderry, always making us feel welcome. We appreciate Howard and his staff doing a bang-up job again this afternoon. Of course, filling in on short notice, Kristen Beals back behind the camera. She did a great job for us tonight. We appreciate it. And, of course, our director on site for the second straight week is Ben Beals, running a tight ship as usual. For my partner, Steve Beals, head of Beals Insurance, I'm Nick Anastas saying see you tonight for BG at Salhegan.
6 o'clock.
Final score, final time from this floor here. Londonderry with a winner, 16-0 over Salem. This has been a presentation of our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week, presented by Beals Insurance.